You're listening to 95.9 FM, KMPN Burnett, keeping him close by to Burnett, Marble Falls, and all the surrounding area. Now, from the ministries of the KHCB Network and Camp Peniel of Marble Falls, welcome to a special presentation. This 95.9 FM features the varsity football game of the week with the Burnett Bulldogs. Join in as play-by-play announcer Mark Edmondson brings all the action and highlights of another weekend of Burnett Bulldog High School football. He is joined by Roy Kaiser in order to give all the details of tonight's contest. For those of you who want to hear the regular programming of the KHCB network, go to khcb.org and listen via the internet or download the free KHCB app to your smartphone or tablet. Now it's time to bring you all the action of tonight's contest on 95.9 FM. So here's Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser.
Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser it is. Welcome to Burnett Bulldog Football on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM. We do appreciate you joining us. And I say it every week because it's true. It is hard to believe we are at the opening of district. The Burnett Bulldogs at 4-2 in pre-district games against the rival Burnett County Marble Falls Mustangs at 2-4. So it's the District 4 4A Division I opener. The Bulldogs coming off of an impressive 57-14 win over San Angelo Lakeview at homecoming last week. And the Marble Falls Mustangs coming off of a loss to Divine 28-27. You know, Coach Kaiser, this is what everything is, as long weeks, long practices going way back to the summer, all the hours put in, pre-district games, fun, exciting. There's been a 4-game win streak. All of those things are great. But it really does start all over now because the games count towards the playoffs and that goal for the Bulldogs to get there. And if it's going to happen, it needs to start tonight. And what better way? The battle for Burnett County, the Bulldogs and the Mustangs. The Mustangs have switched over to a spread-type offense after a number of years running the slot T, running the ball. So they've going through some changes, but they've shown some signs of embracing that. And, again, coming in at 2-4, but even the loss last week to a good Divine team only by 1 point should make for a great opening to district play. And the Bulldogs and Mustangs, that in itself, enough said, the rivalry and all the excitement of just the Burnett County rivalry coming to start district play.
I love the theme music, and it gets me fired up every week, and I can't get more fired up for Burnett Marble Falls. I've been witness to this rivalry for the last 23 years, and you know, every year is just as big, and the kids are aware of it. It's a beautiful night here. It's still 85 degrees, but you know, the stadium should be packed. Everybody has had this game circled. Both communities have had this game circled on their schedule since pre-district, and it's finally here. And there are a lot of implications for the winner tonight, and for the loser as well. But if you win this game, then you've got a much better chance of making the playoffs in this district.
Yeah, let's don't sugarcoat it. Right, if you look at the way those in preseason, the way they put things together, and they certainly don't always play out that way. The district, when you have Stephenville, Brownwood, and Lampasas, we're all in the top 20. Stephenville at 1 or 2 going into the season, and Burnett and Marble Falls outside of that. You know, that is where people are going to only 5 teams in the district, and you're going to look at that and say, hey, if you win that game, you increase your chances exponentially to make the playoffs. Then you go on and be in the first district game. That's just the truth of it. Then you can look at, hey, can I upset somebody? But that's and my teams won't look at it as an upset maybe, but that's how things are seen. So this game, as you said, added importance in every aspect of it. When you've worked so hard to get to this point, you want the playoffs. And, again, the loser will be on the outside looking in, having to fight their way up, and both teams know that.
And so that puts a lot of emphasis on every play, every snap, every decision made by the players on the field, and and maybe even more than that are the mistakes that each team might make. And if Burnett can capitalize or create some mistakes and some turnovers, from the Mustangs, and that really helps in a game where emotions are high, a lot is on the line, and they know it. And so you've got to be able to battle through any mistakes that you make and capitalize on the ones that they do.
Yeah, and this does, again, being in Burnett County, I know we look down in the stands and we see green over here and purple on the Burnett, because these are families, they work together. Some might work in Marble Falls who live in Burnett or vice versa. Obviously, go to church together, all the different things. I always have to give a shout-out. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this today without Ben Shields, who's doing the K-Bay's Marble Falls broadcast, who got to see, and always great to see an old friend. But and going back, I was in his wedding. I mean, this is a person that again, I wouldn't have been able to do this without him. So it makes this, again, now we both want our teams to win, and we're going to go out and watch this game. But it just brings everybody together, and it is so important for these two communities.
Well, and the public address announcer Kyle Futrell just announced Max Copeland and honoring him and one of the patriarchs of this community. And I would come to the basketball games and compete against Marble Falls, and he was such a gracious man and just so kind, and would always speak to me. And so what a great tradition. I believe he has a scholarship in his name now that they've given out around 23 times, I believe is what I heard. So, we do similar things in Burnett. And so really two great communities going at it tonight to see who can win in a football game.
And if somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but doing a little research, got some help there. This is the 110th meeting between these two teams. A little older than I am, so I was not even alive. Some would say they find that hard to believe, but when the first that is amazing to me, and then really again goes into the deep richness of a game like this. So I want to thank, of course, Chad Nelson, BTXSportsOnline.com. You can go there. The instructions to go to the YouTube channel where it's audio feed only. And, of course, we got Bruce with us tonight, and he does an outstanding job. All the help with KMPN. We appreciate that so much. 95.9 FM can be heard locally with all the Burnett Bulldog football games. We're going to take our first break. We come back, we'll have the Coach Ben Spear Show. The Bulldogs at 4-2, the Marble Falls Mustangs at 2-4. Huge game to start district play. Come back and we'll get you the starters and tonight's opening kickoff on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Need some real hope? Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve.
Before God created the church, He created the family. Now, a family is designed to be a unified, close-knit team, with dad acting as head coach and mom acting as assistant coach. And when team family is led well, all the team members flourish in a safe and healthy environment. Debbie and I took our roles seriously. I led and she helped me. I loved her and she respected me, and together we raised our children in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Now, was it easy? No, but it was so worth it. And God blessed our marriage and our family as we sought to do things His way, and He'll do the same for you. Now that's real hope.
And you can find that real hope when you visit FromHisHeart.org.
It's week number 7, and it's the Coach Ben Spear Show, head coach of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are 4-2 after a 57-14 homecoming victory over San Angelo Lakeview. Please share your thoughts on the game.
Well, we were definitely thrilled with the outcome. I thought the first half we could have executed a lot better on several things, both offense and defense. And the score the final score sounds really lopsided. But to me as a coaches, it felt closer than it should have been in the first half, especially that we didn't execute in several things. And, it's kind of one of those things that you thought they may come out flat and you were worried, and you coach against that and try and prepare for it as much as you'd like to, Mark. We came out flat, so it's some of those things that it's is our control, and we got to do a better job of making sure the boys execute. And some of that is the kids need to help themselves, and whether it's controlling emotions or whether it's make sure we don't take our we make sure we take our opponent serious and get after them when we have a chance and opportunity. But yeah, the second half, we got after them pretty good at halftime and corrected some things, and I thought they did a really good job the second half, just coming out and just saying, yeah, this is how we're going to play the rest of the game. And I think other things that were really good to see some of those guys that don't necessarily get the opportunity to play a whole lot to get in the game, and some you look at them, you're like, all right, we thought you might be able to do that, and some just, we're glad you're here and glad you're part of this team, and you keep working hard and keep helping us when you can, and so it's their opportunity to prove to us that they belong on the field.
The Bulldogs open district play against the rival Marble Falls Mustangs. What can you tell us about the Mustangs?
Well, Mustangs are new coach. Coach Timmerman's coming over, and so they're totally changing their whole program. They used to be the slot T, and now they're kind of multiple and more shotgun spread offenses. He's not throwing around probably as much as he'd like to be right now. It takes a while to develop that, and you have to go from your younger kids all the way up and develop your receivers. And of course they've been 3 yards in a cloud of dust for many years there, and now you're trying to get kids to catch footballs, and they're excited about it, but doesn't mean they're necessarily good at it yet. But I think Coach Timmerman has done a great job of getting the community excited, building interest in it, getting the kids excited, get more numbers out. They've had there in a while. They've got more numbers right now than they have had there, and also just they're doing a good job and they're further along in their installation than you kind of would imagine, going from a total of 180 really of what they're doing and throwing the ball around. But he's done a great job of getting everybody excited with that community on what he wants to do, and he's a good man and holding his kids accountable and just coaching them hard. And so they're going to be a tough opponent because as we're talking about, it's a rivalry. So
this week does start district play and obviously has some added importance in the Bulldogs' quest for the playoffs. Does that change the approach of the team in any way?
No, it shouldn't. I think, everything, it changes how we deliver content to them or what we're saying to them, because now it's always been, hey, this is just prep for district. This is prep for district. These games are nice. We want to win them. Those things are good, but this is all our pre-district, district prep games, and now, well, it's district. And it's told the guys last week, it's go time. These count, and this one is the biggest one because it's the next one, and so from here on out, they're all big, but this one right here is, and it means a lot, especially if we can get this one win. It puts us in a good shape going forward to making the playoffs. It doesn't guarantee us a spot in, but it puts us in a good spot going down the road, making the playoffs. And so the kids know the importance of it, and they've had a good week of practice, and we'll hope that turns out tonight.
Rivalry games tend to add to the emotion of a game. How important and how much does the team talk about using the emotions but not letting them become a negative factor?
Yeah, you gotta talk about it. As much as we don't build it up as a rivalry, and we try to just keep it, under wraps, and the kids know it. Everybody else is talking about it, and I've talked about them on Saturday. Everybody talks about this game. Everybody, the battle for Burnett County, and the purple guys, and all this we want to talk about, and everybody likes to build it up more than it is, but it's big for our area, and it's good that we play this game, and it's always been kind of a rivalry, and I know it went away for several years, and then they brought it back, and then Now it's a district opponent, so it's just even bigger because there's more at stake than just beating your rival. It's a shot at the playoffs is at stake. So, but you have to address those things because, as you mentioned, man, you got to control emotions because sometimes they feel in rivalry games that they need to play a little extra hard and a little extra, and we don't need any extra. We just need your best, and then we don't need extra after the whistles or outside the lines. We need your best, and then celebrate with your teammates or rescue a teammate and that gets himself in a bad situation because, it does. Emotions ride high in these games, but we got to play within ourselves and in order to execute and be successful.
Thank you, and as always, good luck. Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser, back with you live from Marble Falls, Texas. Beautiful night for football. Moon's out, about half of it. We were talking about it. I did not get to see the Northern Lights last night, but I saw some photos of that, so that's neat. A lot of things going on. It's supposed to be cooling down next week. This is your weather report. But it is down here. It's supposed to be 98 this weekend, I think, still. But a true cool front coming in next week. That will be nice to see. I don't know much rain with it, though.
No, I hope it brings some rain with it.
But we do appreciate you joining us. It is the district opener. This is 4A, first D1, first year of this new district. The only other game, as we mentioned, going on tonight, or if we didn't mention it, is Lampasas is hosting Brownwood. Stephenville has the night off in the district. Burnett's bye does not come till week 9, the week before the final game of the season against Stephenville. So, just a lot of things going on. Again, you're going to mention today at the pep rally, but first responders, that was really a neat event to get the fire and the police department coming to the Burnett pep rally and being part of that.
Yeah, they were very gracious and were invited to the pep rally, and they made it a lot of fun. Maybe one of our best pep rallies of the year because they competed against each other in 4 or 5 little contests, tug of war and three-legged race, free throw shooting. So they had a good time and made it fun for the kids, and so we truly appreciate their involvement in our pep rally today.
And also, of course, I get to check in early. Molina, Mr. Molina will be down around filming and stuff, so he's checked in with us. Of course, Mr. Molina doing so many things around and at so many different events when he doesn't have to be. I mean, he does a lot of that on his own time to be able to put those videos out. So last week of homecoming volleyball, we'll try to get a volleyball update. They're in Salado tonight, and we also just as we said, that was good timing as the fire trucks pulling up outside as we were talking about the first. Not in a bad way. They're just parking. They always have one on site, I think. So again, it is the district opener. The Bulldogs. How did they get there? Well, go back and goes back to August the 29th. The season started as district will be opening tonight. Laga Vista came to Burnett, and it was in the last 20 seconds the Bulldogs lost that game 23-20 to Laga Vista. On September the 6th, traveled to Eastview, and it was the one game of the year that it really was lopsided. They just a big 5A school, so many more players, and a D1 or a couple of D1 commits on it, and the Bulldogs really had trouble competing with them and lost that one 51-0. But they've won since, so we hope we can keep that rolling. So on the 13th of September, Little River Academy, the Bumblebees, the Bulldogs traveled there and won 49-35. Then it was Fred. Then back-to-back really close games, tough games. Physical games in Fredericksburg on the 20th of September. The Bulldogs won that one 22-15. Some late defensive stands really sealed that for the Bulldogs. And then followed that on September 27th, Gatesville came to Burnett, and a Gatesville team that had gotten a lot of hype, and they did have some talent, no doubt. The big running back scored 2 touchdowns for them, but they held him in check, especially early in the game, and the Bulldogs won that one 23-17. And then last week it was a game they dominated, and as you heard Coach Spear, especially in that second half, homecoming, they beat San Angelo Lakeview 57-14, and that's how the Bulldogs got to this 4-2 record to open district play.
And on the opposite side, the Marble Falls Mustangs opened up the season on 8/29 with a lopsided win over Austin Crockett, 56-0. And then they went to Gerald and lost to Gerald, 14-21. On 9/13, they lost to Llano, 13-20. So similar scores there, back to back. On 9/20, another lopsided win against Breckenridge, San Antonio School. And then on 9/27, they lose to Lavernia, 14-34. And then in a close game last week, they lost to Divine, 27-28.
Well, Mr. Molina, and I trust him almost with my life. So he said, I'm not sure why, but that the flip has already occurred. So I haven't seen any kind of indication on that, and that the Bulldogs will get the opening kickoff. So we'll again, I have no. I know he's not making it up. So maybe
Right.
they had some reason for it, but I had not seen that. So thank you.
Maybe they will. I think in this game, typically they do honor the first responders, so maybe they'll spend that
Burnett
time.
County.
Maybe it'll be a ceremonial flip. But I don't know if we won the flip. And
Yeah, well, I
Or
hadn't
lost
seen
the
that,
flip.
or and that could have deferred. But either way, right now we are definitely under the premise, or under the fact that the Bulldogs will get the opening kickoff. But again, we'll know that also when they kick off. But we got before we go to the starters, we are about 8 minutes or so from the scheduled kickoff of the game. A little. Look at that, Coach Molina already has that. You ask, you shall receive. Said we lost the flip, but they deferred. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing. Just some thoughts on this. This Bulldog team has been very physical the last couple games. Won 2 close games last week. Really able to spread it out against Lakeview, but those games to me were real important, because I think this is the type of game they're going to have to be physical early, going to have to control the line of scrimmage. Mustangs are coming onto the field. Now they got lights doing stuff.
I was going to comment on it because I saw it in the pregame, and I thought, yeah, I bet we get some more light show tonight.
And it is light shows going around. Well, this is something, again, I have not seen, but we've seen it, 3, 4 times?
Eastview and Little River Academy.
The
for sure.
stadium lights are flashing, and then some flash back towards the stands, but they flash in sequence. And that didn't happen, because if you turned off lights, you had to wait 15 minutes for them to come back on, and they're immediately back on. So, but what are the Bulldogs going to have to do? This is going to the motions, all those things put together. You still, as the Bulldogs come onto the field as well, have to be the more physical team, in my opinion.
Right, and that was my first key to the game is and Marble Falls knows that we have been physical, and so that's got to continue tonight. We've got to hit the running back, and number 10. If he were to catch some passes tonight, Cole Becker, we've got to put a pop on him, just to let him know we're there, and we need to pressure the quarterback. I've got capitalized on Marble Falls' mistakes, but also to pressure the quarterback, which is not something that the Bulldogs have really done a great job of. I think we have 8 sacks on the year, so that if we were able to maybe do that, I think it would help in a passing attack that is young, with only 6 games under their belt. I think that would puts a lot more pressure on the quarterback and the offense to make plays.
So both teams are on the field. They are honoring the first responders, so that is part of what's going on while they're doing that. Let's go ahead. We'll get the starters for the Bulldogs. At quarterback, Rhett Murray. The running back will be Josiah Coronado. The receivers, Matthew Williams, Marcus Pimentel, Colt Stanford. Peyton Shirley will be at the tight end position. The line, Johnny Sharon, Shane Conan, Jonathan Ryder, Nate Torres, and Ellis Starkey.
Bulldog defense in the 3-4 alignment. Noah Billick and Riley Howell on the ends, with Demetrius Taliaferro, number 26, as the nose. Your linebackers, Marcus Pimentel and Trevin Park on the outside. Trevin Park has 30 tackles on the year, 6 a game. And then your middle linebackers, Alejandro Ochoa, number 34, he has 42 tackles, 7 a game. And your leading tackler is the wheel linebacker, Chris Kastner, number 20, with 50 tackles, 8.3 a game. Cornerbacks, Jordan Jones, number 3, Aiden Sanchez, number 6. And your safeties, number 18, Colt Stanford, and 35, Lou Laidler.
They are going to meet at the middle of the field, it appears. So, again, maybe ceremonial. And a large round of applause for the first responders. Of course, our gratitude as well. Again, doing so many things, putting their lives on the line for us. No doubt about it. We appreciate that so much. So great to see them honored here tonight. I'll let you get the captains for Marble Falls. As they come out.
Number 7, Doak Timmerman. Number 10, Cole Becker. Number 50, L.T. Gerganis. And then number 6, Colton Miner.
All right. For the Bulldogs, it's going to be Rhett Murray. Also, Chris Kasner. Just trying to make sure they didn't change somebody on this outside. They're on the far side of me. I'll make sure here that
Is
just
it Marcus?
I think it. So the toss again. We might have a little extra knowledge that that oops, but either way, because it's now they got to switch sides of the field. It looked like Marble Falls did win the toss,
Yes.
and they deferred. Bulldogs will get the opening kickoff. This is like we have insider news. We just have to maybe learn to keep my mouth shut. But I like it.
No, it was good.
It worked
I like
out.
it.
Oh, yeah, we're ahead of the game. It was Pimentel in there as well, and I think that was 10. I think Trevin Park was the other captain. But we do have our national anthem coming up. We'll go ahead and take the break here. We'll get the starters for Marble Falls when we come back. All right, we are not far away. A lot of things going on here tonight, but right now we are ready after the national anthem for the kickoff. You're listening to Burning Bulldog Football on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I started drugs, alcohol, and porn before I was 10. Was in and out of rehab for several years and constantly in trouble with the law. I got one DUI after another, and by age 21 started dealing drugs when I wasn't in jail. One day I met up with my brother and we started cruising around town, drinking. He wanted to get some crack, but even drunk I knew that was a bad idea. We argued a while, then got out of the truck and started fighting. I pulled a knife and went crazy, stabbing him 9 times. He pulled through and eventually spoke on my behalf, leading the judge to give me a lighter sentence. I promised myself I was going to change after that, but I couldn't. I'd sober up and start drinking again, and kept dealing drugs. I decided change was impossible, so I just wallowed in my filth. One day I heard a radio preacher quote the Bible. He that committeth sin is of the devil. He went on to say that we can't fight the devil on our own. Only through the power of God can we overcome Satan. It's God who changes us through the blood of Jesus Christ, not we ourselves. Because of that sermon, I asked Jesus to forgive my sins and change my life. He did. And God's power broke the chains of evil that had me tied up in sin. I'm David Lamond, and if the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Even the K-9 unit on the field being recognized. Good to see there. Again, the first responders leaving the field here after being recognized. Great to see that. Burnett County. This is the Battle of Burnett County. The starters for the Marble Falls Mustangs. On the offensive side, quarterback Colton Miner, running back Joaquin Aguilar, the wide receivers Caden Langbine, Noah Lyon, Cole Becker, and Mason Long. The offensive line, Raul Morgan, Carson Palmer, Keelan Aiken, Jameer Garcia, and Tyler Leverett.
The Mustang defense is also going to be in a 3-4 tonight. The down linemen, your ends are number 8, Sanchez, number 51, Gerganis, and number 54, Valdez. Linebackers, number 5, Lyon, 45, Beifeld, and number 40, Graham. In your secondary, well, it says it's a 3-4, but you've got 5 secondary guys. So you've got a cornerback, number 18, Lucky, and 24, Hughes, and 3 safeties, Becker, number 10, Guevara, number 9, and number 21, Lemon.
We'll see how they'll be on the field first. The Bulldogs will receive the opening kickoff. Shout out to the Civils family. I know they're listening in tonight, so appreciate that as always. And anywhere you might be listening on the World Wide Web, btxsportsonline.com, or on KMPN 95.9 FM. We're teed up and ready to go. It is set up at the 40. Marble Falls to kick off. Line drive kick going to be returned from the 10-yard line. Is Ladler to the 20, to the 25, a little seam up near the 30, still on his feet, past the 32 to the 33, I believe. Be good. They give him the 32. Good starting position. Thank you for listening to Burning Bulldog Football on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com. Bulldogs offense comes on the field first.
Yeah, good yardage by Lather and a great job blocking to create a seam up the middle. And let's see what the Bulldogs can do with the opening kickoff.
Quarterback Rhett Murray will bring the Bulldogs onto the field. Going to have trip receivers on the left side of the field. Josiah Coronado in the backfield. Man goes in motion. They're going to hand it off on the sweep to Stanford. He's got blockers, bounces the outside, has a first down and more, cuts back inside, still on his feet, pushed out of bounds past midfield. Good run to the 48-yard line on the Marble Falls side of the field. And that is a 20-yard run to start it off, 1st and 10 on the sweep to Stanford.
Yeah, really nice run and never brought him down.
And we're quickly to the line. We're going to have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray in shotgun. Man in motion is Williams. Going to hand it to Williams. He tries to get to the outside. He does, and he's undercut at about the 42-yard line. Pretty good open field tackle, but still a nice gain on first down. If he gets away from that tackle, he might get the sideline, but it will mark it at the Marble Falls 42-yard line. 6 yards on the gain. 2nd down and 4.
I think it's a great idea to get Williams the football. We can throw it to him, and he's always getting good yardage. Why not just hand it to him?
Now we're in the diamond formation. 3 backs around Murray. They're going to hand it off on the sweep. Breaks inside. Is Kasner still on his feet to the 35. Ladler was the back behind. He was a lead blocker. Kasner got the carry to the 35, a gain of 7, 3 runs, and a first down. We had heard that Marble Falls had been giving up big yardage in the run, so we're coming out that way. Love to see it, and it's been successful. 1st and 10 at the Marble Falls 35. Just underway, less than 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Battle of Burnett County. Burnett Marble Falls district opener. Murray has a man go in motion. Ladler, he sets up, behind the quarterback, going to throw. Has time, got to get rid of it deep to the end zone. He's got a man and incomplete. Little grab in there late. Who are they trying to get it to there? We're a little higher up. It might,
Stanford.
Was it Stanford on that outside?
I can't tell.
He had a step. It is hard to tell.
We are higher up, but it's also, I've always thought this field was dark.
It does seem a little darker to see the numbers. But it is incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Well, he had him marked
in their white jersey. Yes, he did.
I thought it threw it right in his hands, and he just couldn't come up with it. But you're right. There was a lot of grabbing going on.
So 2nd and 10 from the 35. Begin the diamond formation. This time they hand it off on the sweep. Back inside, I think that's Coronado still on his feet. So he was on the left side. They move around, but he's going to get a first down as Coronado gets down to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 12 and a first down. They've had first downs, I think, on about 3 of the 4 plays. It's 1st and 10 at the Marble Falls 22. Again, that time he was on the left side, and they blocked the diamond, led the blocking to the right.
2 great cuts from Coronado to create that yardage, but you're right. 4 different backs have carried the football so far.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. On 1st and 10, man goes in motion. Snap back, handed off to Coronado up the middle, and he has a hole down to about the 15-yard line. That's a solid 8 yards, 2nd down and 2. He was the lone back that time.
Well, I like it, Mark. It looks like the Bulldogs are taking advantage of both ends and up the middle. The Mustangs are guessing right now as to where the ball's going to go.
So 2nd down, and they call it 3 maybe, so it is at the 16-yard line, not the 15, so 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Man goes in motion. That's Kasner. Snap back to throw. Has pressure. Throws it out, and catch is made as he's hit. Let's see if they give him a bump out of bounds. I don't think they give him the 1st down. They give it to about the 13-yard line, which was a gain of maybe 2.5. It is short, but it's 3rd down and less than 1. Coronado to the right of Murray on 3rd and short. Murray waits for it, gets the snap, hands it off to Coronado. He makes one man miss. He'll get the 1st down to the 6-yard line, a gain of 7. It'll be 1st and goal. Bulldogs driving towards the end zone. 9:17 to go in the 1st quarter.
So far, so good. Just, again, Marble Falls has no idea where the ball's going to go. And Burnett is doing what they've done in every game, Mark. They distribute the football to different people, and it's got to be tough on the defense to know who's going to get it at what point.
And that's good blocking up front because Coronado has the chance to make that cut. No contact.
He really does.
1st and goal from the 7. Murray in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left. Man goes in motion. Snap back, he throws. Wide receiver screen, trying to get to the edge. Pimentel, touchdown Bulldogs! Throws it out to Marcus Pimentel. So it is Rhett Murray to Marcus Pimentel for 6 yards and a touchdown for the Bulldogs. They lead 6-0 with the extra point to come. Beautiful drive executed, positive almost every play, and then took it in with the score. That was blocked beautifully up front. Pimentel never touched.
Couldn't have asked for a better start for the Bulldogs.
And we're going for 2. And we snap back to Pimentel. He looks to run it in. He has to lower the shoulder. He gets in. Bulldogs do not kick extra point. Pimentel lines up at quarterback. Surprised us a little bit there. Bulldogs won that extra point, and he got his way in. Marcus Pimentel, the extra point, 2-point conversion is good. Bulldogs lead 8-0 at the 8:41 mark. We're going to go ahead and keep it here. Talk about that.
Not sure what the reason is on that. Maybe the thought is if they haven't stopped us on any run yet, then we'll just keep running it. And so far, the Bulldogs have proven that they are going to establish the ground game. You've got Coronado with 27 yards, Stanford with 20, Kastner with 7, Pimentel with 2 on the extra point, and Williams with 6, all on the ground. That's a great start for the Bulldogs.
And then the touchdown was on a pass.
And exactly, yeah. Now,
6-yard touchdown from Murray to Pimentel.
Now, what makes this complete here, Mark, is if the defense comes out with as much energy and does the same thing.
Bulldogs to kick off. Check who's kicking here.
That might be the other reason.
That might be it. No, it is Campos Huerta.
It's Campos.
Marcos Campos Huerta is lining up to kick it off. And he has been a real find for the Bulldogs. And he will kick it from the 40. Bulldogs lead 8-0, 8:41 mark. Bulldogs got the opening kickoff, took it right down the field. It was a 68-yard drive, capped off by a 6-yard touchdown. Line drive kick over the head.
There he is.
Into the end zone. Everything's good.
All is right with the Bulldogs.
And into the end zone for the touchback. So they should start at their 25, right? 25.
Well, I think we're missing it, Mark, but behind us, behind the press box, is one of those amazing evenings that we've been having with the sunset, beautiful sunset, as my wife is sending me pictures.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad to know he's behind us.
Yeah.
1st and 10, Marble Falls will start their first drive. They trail 8-0. 8:41 to go here in the first quarter. Quarterback is Colton Miner. Snap, he's looking to run it himself, and he's tripped up. First play was a designed run. He gets a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Bulldogs have struggled against running quarterbacks at times, but do a nice job there.
They really do, and I think, let me see who made that tackle, but I think he was getting blocked and was on the ground when he made that tackle.
So 2nd down and 9, snap back. He's going to hand it off to Aguilar. Joaquin Aguilar, the running back, takes it up to the 29-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll bring up a quick 3rd down. 3rd down and about 6 for the Mustangs.
A lot of Bulldogs in on that tackle, on that play.
You can correct me at any time. Now, they're wearing either dark purple or black pants and jerseys, and the number's that same color with a little bit of white around their little lighter color, and it's hard to see.
Yeah, it is. I think what they've got is black and then purple numbers, but it just blends in.
So if I say one wrong, just jump in there. Aguilar goes in motion. They throw the pass upfield. It's going to be close, but short of the 1st down. Good job of tackling. They go, and I'm going to guess they threw it to Becker there, their leading receiver, but it's 4th down and short. They're going up to the line right now like they're going for it. It's at the 34-yard line. Miner trying to get him to jump offside. Now looks to sideline. Now I believe they bring the punting unit on. Bulldogs being disciplined. Still need to keep that mindset. They do bring the punting unit on. I like that the Mustangs tried to come up there and see if they could get us to jump offside.
Yeah, they didn't really
do it hard.
Didn't sell it that well, but again, the Bulldogs did a good job of not going for it.
They do get the snap back, punt away. High punt, short. Bulldogs fair catch called for at the 32. So, as you said, the next step was the defense doing its job. It's a 3-and-out. Bulldogs will start at their own 32, leading 8-0.
Who received that punt, Mark? Was that Laidler?
I'm thinking it's Laidler. Park sometimes back there. But
it was either Park or Laidler,
yeah.
and I tell you, he did a great job of catching that because the defense was on top of him, and he concentrated and did a good job.
Called for the fair catch, but again, you have to make sure you get it in, and they were close. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, leading 8-0. Coronado will be in the backfield to the left of Murray. One receiver to the left, one to the right in the slot. Murray sends a man in motion. They're going to hand it off to Coronado. Has a hole on the left side. Bounces it outside, and he'll get up near the 38 or 39-yard line where they mark it's going to be 7 or 8 yards. They'll give him 7 yards to the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Well,
big chunks for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, let's do it again. Let's pick up a lot of
Did you
ground.
see the
on
side?
each play.
They just had that left side caved in, and he had a big lane. 2nd down and 3 from the 39. Pistol formation this time for Murray with Coronado behind him. They'll hand it off to Coronado again. He has to find a little hole, and he does to get the 1st down. He actually ran into one of his own linemen and a defender who were tied up, but he found his way, gets to the 43-yard line, picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
Again, having success around the end and in the middle. And, it may be a long night for Marble if they can't stop either one of those.
1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Murray, again, pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right, Coronado behind Rhett. Snap back, handed off to Coronado again, big hole up the middle. He's going to get another chunk of yards. They're going to be good for a 1st down. I believe 11 yards. He gets past midfield into Marble Falls territory to the 46-yard line, and that is a 11-yard gain, 1st and 10. Just big holes, big chunks of yardage.
Yeah, just gashing the line for Marble Falls right now, Mark. So the Bulldogs just have to do a good job of holding onto the ball and continuing to pick up good yards.
2 receivers to the right, Coronado to the left of Murray on 1st and 10. They jump, going to throw, free play, right side, throw it up for grabs, and Bulldogs can't come up with it, incomplete, but should be 5 yards against Again, we haven't seen that as much this year, but Murray gets him to jump there.
No, but I like it. It works. They've gotten it to work on any situation, down and distance, but I love trying it on first down. And now you've got you've got a first and five, which is not always seen.
But it's a good down to have.
It's a rare down and distance, but you can do a lot of things right here.
All right, Bulldogs have it, 1st and 5 at the Marble Falls 41, lead 8-0, 5:11 to go here in the first quarter. Murray in shotgun, going to hand it to Coronado on the left side, has to get around the edge, cuts inside. Marble Falls, probably their best pursuit there. They kind of filled up the hole, but he does get a couple of yards to the 39, a gain of 2. But again, you had that 1st and 5, so you got 2nd down and short, 2nd down and about 3. Bulldogs send some personnel. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, this might be one of those opportunities where you run a little play fake, a run fake, and then throw the ball deep.
You know I'm conservative, and I like keep running it. But if you're going to, this is a down to do it. You got 2nd and 3. You could, if they bite on the play fake, then you got somebody very possibly open. And there it is. But they throw the shorter pass, but it is complete. And then, is that Pimentel still on his feet?
Running like
no,
a
it's not
madman.
Pimentel. Pimentel's standing. Let's see. You got it all the way down to the 26-yard line. Can you see if we can figure out who that is?
Maybe it was Marcus.
It wasn't Marcus because I saw him standing up when the
He
tackle.
ended up standing right next to him. Maybe it was.
Might have been
maybe
Stanford.
It's Stanford.
So Stanford, and that was a 13-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 26. Man goes in motion. 1st and 10. Going to hand it off again. This time they get some people in the backfield. Coronado swallowed up. So let's see. They might have lost a yard. I think they did. First loss of the night. Marble Falls able to find some room in there, get in the backfield. Loss of 1 to Coronado. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11. 2nd and 11.
You know who that receiver was, Mark? He's moving off. That was Kastner.
Kasner in the middle. Thank you. First, 2nd and 11. Snap back to Murray. Looks to throw. Has time.
Run it.
And he has room to run. He pulls it down, and he's going to get hit hard, but get near the 21, 22-yard line. A lot of space there. I think he did wait a little too long, or he would have had more room, but I understand that he was waiting for, he had a lot of time. They had bought him, but there was a lot of room. He picks up 5 yards to the 22. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6. 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was the right decision. He had a lot of green grass in front of him. And
you had said it earlier.
Now, what he got to do is go down a little bit easier and slide instead of getting hit.
2 receivers to the right. Murray in shotgun. Sends a man in motion. No, it's Pimentel, and he's going to keep it himself, and he's fighting, and he breaks a tackle, and he's going to get the 1st down. Marcus Pimentel was at quarterback, number 11 instead of 12. He gets the direct snap, but he was patient because he was stopped short of the 1st down, but he gets it all the way down to the 14. That's an 8-yard gain and a 1st down. Great run.
I tell you, Pimentel and Coronado, they all are just doing a great job of cutting and eluding the defenders.
Murray back in. Double check for me there again. It's till they turn. We've got the trip receivers right by the sideline again. We saw that formation last week. 1st and 10 from the 14. It is Pimentel. He throws it out in the flat, and that did not work well. It lost 2 yards. It was also, let's see, to Demetrius Talaferro caught it, but the defense came up. The blocking wasn't there, so they lose 2 yards to the 16. It was Pimentel with the completion. Minute 41 to go in the first quarter, still 8-0. Bulldogs lead, but now they have a 2nd down and long, about 12 from the 16-yard line.
Is he still in there, or is that Murray?
That's what I'm trying to
No,
see. It's Murray now. Murray's in there. Coronado to his left, 2 to the right. Coronado now to the right of Murray on 2nd and long. Murray rolls to the right. Looks, throws it out in the flat. Catch is made inside the 10, and then that should be a flag. They tackled him 10 yards out of bounds. Now I got to see from the far side. I don't think that's Pimentel. This time it is.
It was Pimentel.
It was Pimentel with the catch to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 8, going to bring up third down. A minute 11. He ran out of bounds. Clock stopped.
Well, he almost made it to the track before he got tackled.
Yes, they tackled. That was well, and they pulled him down there at the 8. So it is third down and about 4 from the 8-yard line. In shotgun. Ball was on the ground and then picked up, but I don't think that was Murray or Pimentel. It's at the 10, a loss of yards. The snap came back. Was that? You have to check, see if could you see that better? It wasn't either one of them. They're not built.
Trying to see if he turns around.
It might have been Peyton Lopez, but it's fourth down, and we're trying a field goal. So a loss back to the 11.
That was 88.
It was Johnson. He had that touchdown. Brian Johnson.
We've seen that before.
The 17-yard line. This is a 27-yard field goal attempt. Snap is back. It's low. Hold is good. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. It's good. 27-yard field goal for Marcos Kempes-Huerta. Makes the lead 11-0 with 23 seconds. We're going to take one break here. We'll be back after this timeout on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com.
In Hebrews 9:27, the Bible says that we all have an appointment with death. Then we stand before God. What matters more than which day is your last is that you are ready for it. Jesus spoke of eternity without God as a place of utter darkness. Today may not be your last, but if you aren't ready today to stand before God, it is the right day to prepare to avoid the darkness. For help, call 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us live at needhim.org.
Mark Edmondson, and we're having to try to keep up, Roy Kaiser, with all the changes. That was Brian Johnson who lost those 2 yards, but then on fourth down, again, Marcos Kempes-Huerta has been a great find coming up from the JV a few weeks ago, and that was a easy, he had it about 20 yards or more, high kick, but a 27-yard field goal makes it 11-0 with 23 seconds to go in the first quarter for the Bulldogs.
11-0 here in Marble Falls in favor of the Bulldogs, and 14-7 Lampasas over Brownwood.
Marcos Kempes-Huerta to kick off here. So he's definitely showed himself as a weapon in more than one way. This kick going to be returned, but about from the 3-yard line to the 10. And hit there at about the 15. Good coverage downfield. And Becker, I believe, gets back to about the 17-yard line. So a touchdown and a field goal. There's 17 seconds left in the first quarter. And Marble Falls will start at their own 17 for their second drive.
That may be one of the fastest quarters in Burnett Bulldog history with that many runs. You don't usually see that many. And I think we have Laidler on the tackle on that. Or he was the first one to meet the ball carrier. And then going back to Johnson, Brian Johnson, number 88, brings him down.
So it is 1st and 10 for Minor. The quarterback, a pistol formation, Aguilar behind him. But it's Minor to throw out in the flat. Catch is made, and tackle is made. Great job at the 15-yard line. That's a loss of 2 yards by the Bulldogs. At least one. They might have given him the 16. And he didn't go out of bounds. So they got that back to the line of scrimmage. I don't see how.
I don't think so either. But
anyway, that is the end of the quarter. So we'll go ahead and take this break. Good first quarter. Battle of Burnett County. See Pimentel at midfield raising his hands up to the good crowd on the Burnett side. And a great first quarter. Bulldogs at the end of one lead the Mustangs 11-0 on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN 95.9 FM.
All the religions of the world focus basically on man's efforts to reach God, or to please God by accomplishing a set of tasks, or by doing good things. All the world religions, that is, except one. Jesus Christ came to live the perfect life that, frankly, you and I are just not capable of living. And as perfect as Jesus was, he willingly died to pay the price for the sinful life that you and I have lived. That makes Jesus inescapably unique in the world, in all religions. It is not about religion with Jesus anyway. Did you get that? It's not about religion. With Jesus, it's about your relationship with Him. To find out more about how you can receive the forgiveness of Christ provided only by friendship, by relationship with Jesus, call us now at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. Second quarter. It is second down and 10 for the Mustangs. They trail 11-0 to the Bulldogs. Or 11-0 if I said that without all that accent. And then
that stoppage of play.
The clock hadn't put.
Jordan Jones' mark on that last tackle, that last play by Marble Falls was a fake handoff, but not really an effective fake. The quarterback pulled it out way too soon. Everybody read it. The ball was thrown behind the receiver on a screen, and but Jordan Jones brings him down.
Somehow it got in front of the 17 now. We're further up. Second down and 10. Man goes in motion. They looked like they left early.
They did leave early.
But pressure comes. He throws it out in the flat. Then a good tackle made, a gain of a couple of yards. Actually, one. He was behind the line, leaned forward, and might have got back to the 17.
Maybe.
They give him the 18, so it'll be 3rd and 9. All Bulldogs here early on. Lead 11-0. A touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal. 3rd and long for the Mustangs, and you know they don't want to be in this position.
No, and they're deep in their end of the field. This could give Burnett good field position if we get a stop here.
Minor in the backfield, empty backfield. Gets snapped back. Does have some time. Now pressure comes, throws it out, and incomplete. It was a big hit. It was almost a catch. Was that Becker? He really went high. Whoever it was tried to come down with it, but a good hit by the Bulldogs separated. It would have been enough for a first down, but instead the punting unit comes on. I couldn't tell who got the hit for the Bulldogs, but timed it perfectly.
Yeah, it wasn't a great throw, and it was too high, but the safety looked like Cason O'Hare coming from his spot. Broke that up. Really great play by O'Hare.
I think that's Park standing at about the 50. Snap back to the punter. He gets it away. High kick again, but fair catch called for by Park again.
I'm glad he has good hands and can catch the ball.
Yeah, that one he had to lean for, but he did. And that was a pretty good punt, all things considered, for the Mustangs, but still sets the Bulldogs up. 1st and 10 at their own 45, already leading 11-0. You want right now to just keep doing what you're doing, not let up at all.
Yeah, and Bulldog fans have to be happy with their defense and how they've turned the Mustangs away 2 times on 2 possessions.
And the Bulldogs, and this is the other thing on a team that has struggled against the run like the Mustangs have and are tonight. You're wearing them down. Every drive, it's that much more in the third quarter, the fourth quarter.
And, you know, they're not really blessed with a ton of kids on their sideline either.
Absolutely. They have to have players play on both sides as well. 1st and 10 from the 45. Murray in shotgun. Man goes in motion. Going to throw it out, swings it out. That's Lopez out in the flat, and he has some blockers and still on his feet. Peyton Lopez past the 40, past midfield. That's the Marble Falls 40 down to the 38. I think I had that as Lopez coming out of the backfield. Peyton Lopez with the swing pass, and he does get down to the 38-yard line of Marble Falls. And that started at the 45. That is a 17-yard gain. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, great blocking by the ends and the outside receivers to create a huge gap for Lopez.
And that is, I believe, Lopez again in the backfield to the right of Murray. 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the right. Man goes in motion. Snap back. Looks to throw in. Pimentel with a good catch, then breaks a tackle. Does he get to the outside? He does. Down the sideline, the 20 to the 15 to the 13. What a great run after the catch. Marcus Pimentel from Rhett Murray. He hit him and turned around in that little pocket zone there, and then Pimentel, again, showing his elusiveness. He gets all the way down to the 17-yard line. That's a 21-yard gain. No, I'm sorry. It's marked at the 13-yard line. A 25-yard gain. 25 yards on the catch. Murray in shotgun. 2 receivers, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, short side of the field, 1st and 10. Man goes in motion to throw. Has time, middle of the field, dangerous. Too many hands in there, incomplete, and the helmet comes out. I think, is that Pimentel? He took a shot in there. His helmet rolls off. But that's not the throw you want. There was 3 around him, and fortunately it fell to the ground. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he's tried to throw a couple of – in fact, the last pass by Marcus or to Marcus was in tight coverage. But I tell you –
draw your breath.
Well, it's too close for my liking, but I tell you, Pimentel is running like a man possessed. He is not going to lose this game if he can help it.
Laidler in the backfield to the right of Murray on 2nd and 10. Snap back. They hand it off to Laidler. He is hit hard at about the 11-yard line. Ran in there hard, but took a hard hit. He gains 2 to the 11. It'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and about 8 for the Bulldogs. It's 9:22 and counting here in the first half. 11-0 Bulldogs.
Really don't want to be satisfied with anything other than a touchdown right here, Mark.
3rd down and long. Yeah, we've done so many things, but we already had to have the last field goal, which was good. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left on 3rd and 8. Murray in shotgun. Waits for the snap. He gets it. Pressure comes. Has to get rid of it, and he had Coronado coming open in the middle, but the pressure got there, and it's incomplete. It will bring up a 4th down and 8, and I believe the field goal unit will come on again. Now, that is, like you say, been great drives, but you don't – Marble Falls have to see that as a success if you're forcing them into field goal attempts.
No doubt. And, and we've a little bit of abandoned the running game when maybe we need to look at that some more.
From the 18-yard line this time. We'll get a top of the hour after this break, after this attempt. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. 28-yard field goal good by Marcos Campos Huerta. You are listening to Burnett Bulldog Football at the top of the hour on KMPN. Burnett. We'll go ahead and keep it here. 8:49 to go in the first half. 14-0. Bulldogs lead. And all Bulldogs, but again, Marble Falls has got to say, hey, we've stopped them twice in the red zone. So great. And this is a great weapon to see the Bulldogs be able to come up with points with that. But still, you want to finish some of those in the end zone.
You know, Marble has had a few close games, and you
keep hanging around.
Right. You don't want to let that happen. I tell you, Mark, those kicks, that one landed in lane 2 on the track. That's impressive.
And lane 2, that's the far lane. Yeah, I passed all the other lanes, right? That's the
it's towards the inside. But,
okay, I don't care. I like it.
But it did go over all the football equipment over there.
He had lots of leg in it at 28 yards. And high, it wasn't like it was low. And
he's kicking the laces off of that thing. I'm impressed.
So it is the second field goal by Campos Huertas, 27 yards and now 28 yards. That does make it a 2-touchdown score now with that 8 points. We have 2 field goals. It is 14-0. Kickoff here, going to be returned from the 5. Got a little lane to the outside. Oh, good open field tackle at the 25. Got a flag coming in here on the backside of this. Let's see. Maybe holding on the –
Oh, you would think that's holding from the middle of the field. Hopefully not, any kind of face mask or anything by the Bulldogs.
It was from the other side from where the tackle, which was made at the 25. It has been not many penalties. Well, either side. This first one that it was a hold against the Mustangs, so that will set them back. So they'll start at their own 15, I believe.
I'll tell you, one of the differences in the score being 14-0 right now is the Bulldogs are better tacklers than the Mustangs and being more physical, which is one of the keys, the number one key that we both agreed on.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a little lane there, but we were aggressive, and we got there in a good open field tackle.
Open field tackle, and it's just you're a good football player if you can make those kinds of tackles and help your team win.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You have to sell out more. I'm going to go in at full speed, and it works. And they do play with that abandon. Minor in shotgun. He's going to keep it himself, and just not much there. Good job by the Bulldogs to stay at home. The quarterback keep. Maybe they give him half a yard, but he no more than that. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 16-yard line.
That looked like Alejandro Ochoa on the tackle. And I got to spend a little time with Alejandro this week on some team-building activities on a day that we had the seniors, and I tell you, I was highly impressed with that young man. He's very intelligent and seems to be a really great kid. And he's a good football player, too.
2nd down and 10. I do have Aguilar in the back with Minor. Minor sends a man in motion. Waits till he sets up.
Better go with him.
Going to keep it himself again. Minor, the quarterback, does find a little seam up to about the 20, gain of 4. But it'll bring up 3rd and long. 3rd down and about 5. They gave him the 21, I guess, did they? Yep. So 3rd down and about 5. Maybe a long 4, short 5. Bulldogs trying to get the Mustangs off the field again. Bulldogs lead 14-0, 7:25 and counting in the first half.
Trevor Park makes that tackle.
Man, empty backfield now to throw. Minor looking, throws it in the middle of the field, catches, knocked away. It was high again, trying to get it to Becker. It was going to be a hard catch, but then the defense came over and did a good job. I think it was Williams who came in just at the right time and made sure that he didn't catch it. It'll be 4th down, and they'll have to punt again. Great defense.
I tell you, I'm so impressed with Williams' athleticism. He can do a lot of things on the field. And
he had to cover a lot of space in a hurry and not hit him, and he went high and hit the ball out between his hands. It was just a great athletic play. Park, again, this time stands at about his own 44-yard line. Low snap, but punt away. This one a shorter kick, but away from Park, and he has to get away from it and takes a bit of a sideways bounce. Still good field position, and the defense does its job. Bulldogs have scored on all 3 drives, but the last 2 field goals, let's put one in the end zone, but they start at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, still a lot of time left in this quarter, but a 21 spot on our side of the scoreboard would look really good right here.
Absolutely. Run off a few more minutes. It's 7:06 to go. All dominating, but they're only down 2 scores. So this is, like you say, a real chance to add to that lead. It's Coronado in the backfield. See if they.
He may not go in the backfield.
Yeah, he's not. He's in the slot there. Or that H-back. Empty backfield for Murray. But now Coronado sets up in the backfield to his right. And they're going to hand it off to Coronado. But then it's a pitch back. Pimentel's throwing deep, trying to get it to Williams. Williams makes a great catch at the 20. And, you know, the coverage got back there. It hung up a little long. Pimentel got a little air under it. Williams, with great concentration, though, gets it down to the 19-yard line. So that is that's 41-yard pass from Pimentel to Williams. Wow.
And right on cue, Williams goes up and just takes the ball away. It was a perfect pass right in his hands, but he goes up and makes an athletic play.
But there was a defender there that could
was.
knock it away if he doesn't go get it. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. A little trickery there. Trip receivers to the right. Murray in shotgun. Going to hand it off. No, he's going to throw it out in the flat. He gets it to Williams. He gets a block. He gets to the 10 and falls forward, and they give him the 9-yard line. That's a gain of 10. Should be another 1st down. And it'll be 1st and goal Bulldogs. They haven't given him the 1st down yet, but I think they should. I believe they should drop. They did. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 9 for the Bulldogs. 6:24 to go in the first half, 14-0 Bulldogs. And again, knocking on the door, but want to get that 6 here. Coronado in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And what do we know? Not run the ball. They passed every time, and it's worked. Handed off to Coronado. He jump stops. Another one at the 5. Pushes in. He might get there. No signal yet. No, they're going to say he's down at the 1. That's a great 8-yard run, but it will be 2nd and goal from the 1. And, let's Let's give it to Coronado again. Let him get that extra one more yard for the score. That was a good run.
It's a fantastic run. We talked about how he can juke and cut, and that's exactly what he did there. He just wove his way through the defense, and a lot of that is on Coronado, but some of that, Mark, is on the tackling from the Mustangs. They're just not at a depth at it.
Who's in there? Let's see. I think it's Pimentel at quarterback. Coronado, this is the heavy package. Coronado, it's going to be Pimentel, though. Pimentel follows the blocker. He'll walk it in and then push back. But it is a touchdown, 1 yard touchdown run for Marcus Pimentel. Bulldogs lead 20-0 with the extra point to come. Oh, my, that was a nice drive.
That was a fantastic drive.
Hey, listen, if you're going to keep upping my words when I say nice and stuff, I'm going to start with fantastic. You're absolutely right. It was. I'm trying to keep it, it was just everything like clockwork on that drive.
Well, we went back a little bit more to the run and then mixed in the pass.
And we're going for two. Pimentel in shotgun. He's going to run it to the right side. Looks for blockers, and Mustangs kind of snipped that one out and brought some extra on that side. Pimentel could not get in, so we don't get the 2 points. We'll keep it at 20-0. We'll take a break. 5:37 to go in the first half. Bulldogs 20, Mustangs nothing on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN 95.9 FM.
When it comes to news stories about the Middle East, there's plenty of spin, usually against Israel.
So where can you turn for a more balanced approach? The Land and the Book, heard right here on KHCB.
Hi, I'm Charlie Dyer, and at The Land and the Book, we're committed to covering stories in the Middle East biblically and fairly.
We also let you in on conversations with people who are making a big difference in this region.
So join us on Saturdays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on KHCB for The Land and the Book.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser, with you live. 20-0 Bulldogs in front. 5:37 to go here in the first half. I'm going to talk a little bit here for the kickoff.
Well, the Bulldogs are playing inspired football. They know what's on the line. They've met the challenge from the coaches. They've met the challenge from the Mustangs so far and pretty much dominated all three phases of the game. And we've got some guys that are being leaders and playing hard to win this football game. Been a fun night so far.
Smart, yes.
Now, you can't get cocky, and you got to do things right and continue to do things right.
Campos worked to kick up. It's going to be returned from the 5-yard line to the 15. Cut outside the 20. Hit hard there. Maybe the return man gets it back to the 22-yard line where Marble Falls will start their fourth drive. No, I mean, it is. You're playing so well. That's what you hang your hat on. All the other stuff just that's truly, to me, when we have seen this over the last few years, this team develop, and this is a new team, I know, with some youth, but still has that mentality moving forward, and that's what we've seen, being smart, playing smart over and over again. That's why you get upsets like Davenport, whether it was or not, but you see that.
Well, you have to play inspired, but you have to play under control and have self-control, and the Bulldogs have done a good job so far.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Minor in shotgun to throw. He has time, pulls it down. Now he's under pressure, gets rid of it, and that was a dangerous pass. It could have easily been picked off, but it falls incomplete. Two Bulldogs got to it closer than the Mustang receiver. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, again, just under pressure, and he held the ball way too long. Couldn't find an open receiver. That maybe a sack or maybe a coverage bad, a ball thrown poorly because of the coverage. But we also had pressure on the quarterback.
2nd down and 10. Clock is stopped at 5:24 with that incompletion. Left in the first half, 20-0 Bulldogs. Colton Minor, empty backfield, snap back. Now he looks to run. He does pull it down, has a little room there, hit hard up near the 30. I don't think that was designed all the way. I'm not quite sure, but either way, he picks up yardage to the 30. It'll bring up another 3rd down, but 3rd down in about 3 or 4.
Well, he was looking at a hook, a receiver that ran the hook on the left side.
4 receivers double stacked on the left. He faked it, and he is hit hard, and oh, my goodness. Big hit on the backside by Trevin Park. So they tried to get a little tricky. They had 4 receivers on the left side, 2 behind each other near the sideline. But what that did was left somebody on the other side uncovered. And I don't know if it's a call or read, whatever, but Park saw it. And they didn't throw it over there. It was going to be, he pump faked it, and that was all it took for Park to level him.
Yeah.
A loss back to the 20-yard line.
They thought they had enough time to run an out and up, and that's not going to happen.
And this is going to be 4th and 11, and they're going to have to punt again. Oh, my goodness.
They're wanting to run as much clock as possible.
The punter standing at his 9.
I think we could block one of those.
Gets that away. Fair catch called for again.
Wow.
And at the 46 Park again with the good hands. The 45 is where they'll mark it. And the field position has been great because the defense has kept them back. So Burnett starts again at their own 45, leading 20-0. 4:03 to go in this first half. All Bulldogs.
Park has made that catch every time, and that time was out in front of him in his hands, upside down, which, had me a little worried.
1st and 10. Park will split wide right here. And they've been so much changes, and we've got an interesting formation on the left there. I believe that's Murray. Low snap, picked up. It's Pimentel, though, and he has to try to run it, and he does at the 50, down the sideline, down the sideline to the 20, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Pimentel was at quarterback, and again, we're having to watch every play. There's been so many changes, but it was a snap that got away from him. He picks it up and then takes it over 40 yards. I see that they mark it at the 10, right at the 10-yard line. So that is 45-yard run for Marcus Pimentel.
Again, a busted play, but Marcus makes the most of it.
It is Pimentel again in the backfield running the ball. They bring extra help there, and he is dropped down. So we were running it to the left on the sweep to Pimentel, and he gets it back. Loss of about 3 to the 13-yard line. No, they gave him the – I didn't think he was that far up either, but they mark it at the 10. No, now they move it back. It had to be back some. So it's at the 13. Loss of 3 for Pimentel. So it is goal. So that was 1st and goal. So it's 2nd and goal. They've got to score a touchdown. Can't get a first down. 3:13 clock runs here in the first half. 20-0 Bulldogs.
Murray at quarterback.
Thank you. Murray with Coronado to his left. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray to throw. Pressure comes. He's tripped up. Then a flag comes in, usually in the area of where holding happens, though.
I've noticed the sideline and Marble Falls coaches have been begging for a hold, and I think they may have gotten one on this play.
So he pump faked. He was trying to throw it and then tried to get out of there, and he was tripped up as he ran. He was going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but the hold, it's still 2nd down, but that will be 10 yards marked off. So the Bulldogs had this 1st, and we've seen this a couple of times from Bulldogs at games we've talked about. Maybe not as crucial in the moment, but still things you don't like to see. They're back to the 23-yard line now. It is 2nd and goal from the 23.
No, those kind of plays, those kind of penalties kill drives or really hurt them.
Trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray, empty backfield. Man goes in motion. Going to hand it off to Park coming around. He has blockers, has a seam down to the 10. Good run. Nice job of blocking. No, it's not. It was not 10. It was number 2. That's Cason O'Hare. I don't remember him ever carrying it on the sweep. Again, just you never know where they might come from. But Cason O'Hare with the carry to the 9. And that's a 14-yard gain on the sweep by O'Hare.
Well, I noticed, Mark, talking about the coaches, they're pointing like it's a pass, and the Bulldogs have even the Marble Falls coaches confused right now.
3rd and goal from the 9. Trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Murray in empty backfield. 3rd and goal from the 9. Man goes in motion. That's Williams.
Get him the ball.
to throw. Murray, middle of the field in the end zone, incomplete. He was trying to get it, actually, who came open there late, was trying to get it to Talaferro, but incomplete. So I got a feeling we're going to go for another field goal with it being 4th and goal from the 9, but we have not made that decision yet. 1:47 clock stopped here in the second quarter.
They may let this clock run all the way out just to.
Well, I mean, the clock's not running because that was an incomplete pass. So right now the offense stays on the field. It is 4th down, correct? Yes, 4th and goal from the 9. Murray, trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It is an empty backfield. Murray. And then we have a timeout. I'm not sure who.
Somebody.
We're going to go ahead and keep it here. On the board, should show it. Marble Falls called the timeout, so I thought we might have waited to call a timeout and then see about the field goal. But right now, the offense, so everything's good. You want to finish up strong here. You lead 20-0. It does seem like it should be more than that, but still, just a complete domination of the first half.
Right.
They haven't had a first down that I don't think.
And that's just because you and I are greedy, and we want as many points as
we are, aren't we?
Or nervous, one or the other.
I want more points on our side of the board, and I want the buzzer to sound. That's I want to say it's a win. I'm not lying.
But the fact that we just had that 10-yard holding penalty, and we haven't been able to put it in the end zone a couple of times. But when we haven't, we've been able to convert the field goals. And in high school football, those are valuable possessions. And if you get points on the board, they can help you win. So,
all right. Offense stays on the field.
Let's get it in the end zone.
4th down and goal from the 9. Trip receivers are right. That is the short side of the field. 1 to the left. Murray sends a man in motion. Again, that is Williams. Snapback. Murray in the pocket. He's throwing to the back corner. Goes up and incomplete. Bulldogs could not come down with it. I'm not sure who that was.
That was Williams.
Was it Williams in that back corner they tried to get to?
And I tell you,
got his hands on it.
It was right in his hands. It was a really good throw.
But it was at that back pylon, incomplete. It'll be a turnover on down. So the first drive of the night for the Bulldogs that they don't convert.
It was a little
score
high, and it would have been an amazing catch, but no one else could have caught it. So it was a really good throw.
Don't want to do anything silly here. They start at their own 9. You've got a 20-0 lead. You want to get that offense off the field. They hand it off on first down to Aguilar, and good start for the defense. They give him maybe a yard and a half. So it'll give him 2 yards and make it 2nd down and 8 from the 11.
I know Marble is adjusting to a new style of offense, going from the slot T to the spread. But, I wonder really how – I guess it's probably a big difference for the linemen too.
Huge for the linemen.
They're not really having the success that they have had in the past blocking.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Low snap. Pressure comes. He does get it away, but it's low and incomplete. It'll go as an incomplete pass. Clock stops with 55 seconds to go in the first half. 20-0 Bulldogs. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8 from the 11 for the Mustangs.
But, I guess to me, it's you against the defender. And can you beat him? Can you block him? And the Bulldogs have just gotten penetration all night long and stopped all of these runs.
So it is 3rd and 8. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. He looks to throw. Out in the flat, the catch is made, but the Bulldogs right there, I think that was Becker, but he's only going to get to, and the Bulldogs call a timeout to about the 13-yard line, and going to force another punt as it's going to be 4th down and 7. We're going to keep it here. It's timeout Bulldogs as they have 47 seconds. They're about to get the ball. I don't know either way. If they'd have scored on the last one, maybe they look at it a little different. But still, just 20-0. They want another shot at getting the score.
I agree, and I tell you, Mark, it looked like when the receiver caught the ball, he had plenty of room to that's Lions when he had plenty of room to get a first. But I think that's O'Hare over there closed on it quickly. No, it was Aiden Sanchez, as I'm trying to find him in that huddle over there. Aiden Sanchez is the one that closed on it really quickly and shut it down.
So, going to be a punt again for the punter. I got to be tired for Marble Falls. And he's been here every time inside the 10.
And I wish I could tell you what number he is, but
I tried that earlier, and I can't tell. If they list him as a punter, maybe we could guess. But I can't tell the number. He stands at his 1-yard line right now. 4th down and long. Snap is back. They come for it, but he does get it away. And it's going to take a bounce, a sideways bounce. Now a bit of about the same place again as it takes a little bit more of a bounce for the Mustangs to the 42, 43-yard line. See where they end up marking it. But the Bulldogs now will have 33 seconds. That did run a little time off. And they do start at their own 42. Bulldogs leading 20-0. And there's enough time for them to definitely move it down the field. 2 timeouts left, I believe, or is it just 1 for the Bulldogs? It should be 2.
Well, we need that green line on the field like they put in the NFL game so we can tell where Ochoa can kick it. But
good idea. We'll work on that. Well, if the lights can flash off and on at different times.
They haven't flashed
They have
much
not needed
this
to
half.
tonight. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 42. Coronado in the backfield with Murray. Trip receivers stacked on the left, 1 to the right. To throw, Murray rolls out. Has to get rid of it. He does, and could have been intercepted. It waited, and that was a dangerous pass there as he was trying to get it to Sanchez, but couldn't. 26 seconds to go, first half, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it would have been better off if he had just eaten that one and
Or
thrown it
that
out of
one away,
bounds.
yes. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right, short side of the field. I believe that's Stanford. Murray with Coronado in the backfield. Snap back. They hand it off to Coronado. He breaks a tackle, and he gets a first down. Still on his feet. Knocked down at the 46-yard line on, and I believe we got a timeout coming, 46-yard line on the Marble Falls side of this, and they say 47. And it is a timeout, Bulldogs with 18 seconds to go. That was a gain of, what'd you have that at?
11.
11. Mm-hmm. Was good for the first down. Timeout, Burnett. They have 1 left. 18 seconds to go. So what? You can get to the out of bounds. They ran that play and it went for 11 yards. But now the running plays, that we've seen the sweep. But you figure they're going to pass here. At the very least, I think you're trying to get in field goal position. This is a field goal position kind of option.
Right, and we've had some success running the out route. Murray has put the ball right where he needs to. If you do that twice, get about 20 yards here, I think you give your kicker a chance.
And you got 1 timeout left. So, yeah, you get it down. Now, the clock would stop with a first down, too, so you could get up to spike it. But the out patterns, also you get out of bounds. Right now it's at the Marble Falls 47, 1st and 10. Coronado is in a pistol formation behind Murray. 1st and 10, Murray. He hands it to Coronado. He has a hole, and he'll get a first down. A quick, maybe at least 11, if not 12 yards. They're trying to hurry up. 11 seconds. They got it to stop because of the first down. Clock starts, and he's going to spike it with 6 seconds. 6 seconds to go. So where'd they get that? They got it to the 30. It was the 35-yard line. So that was a 12-yard gain on the play before. They spike it, so at 2nd down, the down doesn't matter. 2nd down and 10 from the 35. Bulldogs use their last timeout. Interesting here with 6 seconds to go. don't believe you're no, I'm not going to try a field goal from here. So like you say, maybe another 15 or 20 yards, you might consider it. But now no timeout.
This may be the
Go
pass
forward.
and pitch play. Saw that with the Chiefs the other night. And you throw the ball to the tight end, he turns and pitches it to the running back. We've got to have something like that because or maybe it's a pitch out and let Pimentel throw it deep.
We haven't done anything to confuse the broadcaster in, maybe 4 or 5 plays. So it might be time. I did after meeting with Coach Spears. I'd brought up that a couple of weeks ago, and he said he'd gone back and heard some of that and how confused I sound on the Prather touchdown. Again, was that Gatesville?
That was.
Yeah.
And that was at home where we could read the numbers.
And I told him, I was like, that's not nice. And he just seemed to smile and not seem to be real concerned about the broadcaster following the play. So it is second and 10. It's just 6 seconds left in the first half.
We may run it up the middle and see what we can get.
Right. Trip receivers to the left. Murray. He is looking to throw. Middle of the field, and there's the pitch. It's to Coronado down the sideline. He's still on his feet, and he gets tackled, though. You called it all the way, but that's going to end the first half. He gets to the 6-yard line. It's going to go down as a big yardage play, but it will also it was Stanford, I believe, and he got it, and he waited a little while.
He
got
did
it
perfectly.
to Coronado. And Coronado went down the sideline, but just not enough room as he was pushed out of bounds at the 6. So they went from the 35 to the 6 on the play on the hook and ladder, I guess. That was almost a little more than that because he ran with it a while and just then had the pitch, the option down the field. But it does end up at the 6-yard line and the end of the first half. So we will go ahead. We're going to take a little extended break. We'll come back. We'll do the halftime, give you the stats. The Esprit de Corps about to go onto the field, of course, is always doing the tremendous job they do, the band and the Highlandettes. So we will take this break. At halftime, the battle for Burnett County, the Burnett Bulldogs 20, the Marble Falls Mustangs nothing on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve with Real Hope.
A lot of people like to make God out to be what they want him to be. All love, with no standards, no commandments. He's like Gumby, moldable and bendable to our selfish hopes, desires, and dreams. But that's not God. God is not Gumby. He is the sovereign king of the universe. And you and I exist by his will and for his pleasure, not vice versa. Now, God hates sin. And he's too pure, the Bible says, to look upon sin. His moral standards never change. Why is that? Because they're rooted in his holy nature. Listen, even if the whole world embraces sin and depravity, God does not lower the bar to acquiesce to the masses. May we wake up to the truth before it's too late. It's only when we surrender to the King and his will do we find real hope.
Find real hope in Jesus Christ. Visit FromHisHeart.org.
I've been reading a book that's full of adultery, murder, and intrigue. Pretty wild stuff, really. One chapter that's captured my attention chronicles the story of an Army officer who had an affair with the wife of one of his soldiers. She became pregnant, and in an attempt to cover that affair, the officer arranged for her husband to be murdered. There's more to the story, but you'll have to read it in the Bible. That's right, the Bible. Perhaps you thought the Bible was a book about perfect people who never did anything wrong. I used to think that too, until I discovered that God talks a lot about the bad and the disobedient things all of us have done, and he calls those things sin. God provided for your forgiveness when he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross and pay for the penalty for your sins. Jesus rose from the dead to give you eternal life. To learn how you can find forgiveness through Jesus, call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM.
Charles Dickens wrote the famous words, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Those same words could be used to describe America today. We see amazing progress in areas of communications, science, and medicine, yet at the same time, We are a hurting culture that has rising suicide rates, a staggering number of drug overdoses, and a growing mental health crisis. We see more hate crimes, continued racial disharmony, and a growing lack of civility for others. When Jesus came into the world, there were some similar challenges. There was oppression, excessive taxation, class wars, and rampant social problems. But it was this time in history that gave us the best news ever. Jesus Christ took the sin of the world and offers every person something that is truly beautiful and undeserved. If you want to learn more about beginning a personal relationship with Jesus, then call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM.
Back to Genesis with Dr. John Morris, president of the Institute for Creation Research. Dr. Morris, anything new found in outer space recently?
Chris, there's always something new. Recently, the Hubble telescope located several giant gaseous planets orbiting around burned-out stars. Now, gaseous planets are not strange. Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, they're all large and gaseous, so that's not a problem. What is a problem is that the Big Bang Theory dates these at 12.7 billion years old. This, according to the theory, is much too soon after the Big Bang to have formed the heavy elements which are present. They just don't know what they're going to do. Well, I don't know what they're going to do either, but I do know what they should do. They should give up the Big Bang Theory because it's wrong. It doesn't fit the evidence. There's got to be a better way. And there is such a way. It's found back in Genesis.
Thanks, Dr. Morris. For more information, you can find us on the web at www.icr.org.
I'm Miriam Neff.
And I'm Valerie Neff Hogan with Wise Women Managing Money.
You'll find us talking about the importance of having a will frequently. No apologies. Death happens in young families. Vehicle or workplace accidents, illness. The tragedy and grief are often accompanied by financial upheaval.
Scripture says provide for your family. A will is a must for young families. It may prevent some court costs and delays, but more importantly, you direct your assets where you want them to go, namely to provide for your spouse and your children. Parents should also choose guardians for your children in case of both dying.
Unlikely? Perhaps, but a few hours to create that will is a way to love them. This feature at wisewomenmanagingmoney.com.
Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve with Real Hope.
So many marriages are in trouble today. For lots of couples, they entered into marriage thinking they were getting the ideal. But then the honeymoon wears off, and their ideal often turns into an ordeal, and they begin wanting a new deal. Hey, what can be done for a marriage that has hit the rocks? The Bible tells us that God specializes in giving beauty for ashes. He can take all the hurt and turn it to healing by the power of His cross and empty tomb. You see, if I'm walking with God and my wife is walking with God, then we can handle any issue and any problem. But without submission to the Lord, selfishness inevitably begins to reign. It always leads to a dark place of isolation. But when we say no to self and yes to Jesus and give Him control, His peace and power will transform the marriage. Now that's real hope.
Find real hope in Jesus Christ. Visit FromHisHeart.org.
Mark Edmonds and Roy Kaiser back with you live. We appreciate you joining us for Burnett Bulldog football. It is halftime. Bulldogs lead 20-0. The Esprit de Corps performing right now midfield. Again, they've already had some success at contest, and so continue to build towards more and more of that. The heard over the loudspeaker. Congratulations to Caroline Lunsford. She's the dead of the week. So, but just so many things going on, and after we do, we'll try to get a little bit. I know. Let's throw this in right now. Cross country regional qualifiers. My understanding, both boys and girls.
Boys and girls. I think the girls got second and the boys got third.
I think that's right.
And so they run. I think they leave next Sunday and run on Monday. So congratulations to Coach Jones and Coach Weldon for having a great season.
Now, let me understand this, and maybe this is why I don't know much about cross country. Does it involve running?
I was going to say there might be a lot of reasons, but
oh wow!
But there's one of them.
You know, we've been working this season on the understanding that I do the comedy during the broadcast, and so the fact that you throw that in there, and that was a good one, and I take it that you won't be on next week. So, no, and I will tell you.
Well,
now,
I
here's
only said that because I thought that's where you were leading.
I toss it up, you knock it out of the park. That's the way it's supposed to work. But now I will say, my oldest son did run cross country back in junior high, so I did go to meets, so I do understand the concept. I will not do what it takes. Never
and I
did.
won't either. And that's why it's
congratulations to them.
Yeah, and that's why it's such a special deal.
It
because,
is.
It's a sport that it's a niche sport, but when you find that and that's what you're good at and that's what you like to do, it's a special kind of kid that does that and is willing to put their body through what it takes to be good at it.
And in all seriousness, you've had a great deal to do with the success of that team. I know you're not coaching it now, but you had for many years, and there's no doubt that your imprints on that. So congratulations as well.
Thank you. Coach Jones she's the master. She's the one that's it's got them there, and she had to battle through some injuries. Really, the two best runners in the program didn't run for district, and they still had some success.
And it is, but again, throughout you just look at all the things going on. I have not got a volleyball update, but I know they swept Marble Falls. Marble Falls on Tuesday, kind of, and to bring the rivalry. That was part of the week. There was a good crowd, even from Marble Falls. A lot of their students cheering on Marble Falls, but the Lady Dogs did a great job of sweeping that district match on Tuesday in Burnett. So playing Salado tonight in Salado, though. So. But do we have also a score update?
Oh yeah, I can give you Lampasas 17 and Brownwood 13. That's a halftime score.
In Lampasas, that's going to go down. Here it's at halftime. Bulldogs lead 20-0. 20-0. The Bulldogs lead the Mustangs at halftime. The Mustangs will get the second half kickoff. Let's go ahead and you're ready. We'll get some stats here too before we take this next. So a little longer break before we come back for the second half.
This may be the first year that it's become so increasingly difficult to do these because so many kids are involved in the offense. And you can really say the same thing about the defense, as many guys that are involved in tackles. So you've got to love what the coaches have done with this group. They have figured out where their kids can be successful, plugged them into those spots. And defensively for the opponent, it's got to be tough. And again, I mentioned it, but on one of the plays late in the half, the Marble Falls coaches are pointing that it's going to be a pass to a certain receiver, and it wasn't. It was a run. And so they're doing such a good job of keeping them off balance.
Real quick before you get to that, then, because I think it goes with it so well. It does all the things you want. It confuses the other team. It's successful. It moves the chains. It keeps kids involved. It gives you a chance to rest other kids that you're having to play. I mean, it has been a tremendous part of the success that we've seen, no doubt about it.
Well, and the kids have the ability to do it. You can't just say you're going to do that just because you feel like it and try to make everybody happy. That's not the reason you do it. You do it because the kids have some skill enough to do what you're asking them to do, and they have. They've responded, and Murray and Pimentel, both at quarterback, have done a good job of getting the ball where it needs to.
This is the most mixed we've seen, and it has worked tonight, and we had not seen that
in a long time.
Yeah,
that I remember. So speaking of that, you've got Murray attempting 14 passes, completing 8 at 118 and a touchdown. Marcus has come in and thrown it 3 times for 40 yards and scored a touchdown, but his was a running touchdown.
Yes.
So receiving those passes, you've got Williams, who I'm completely impressed with. He's only caught 2, been thrown at twice, caught both of them for 51 yards. Pimentel 3 catches for 39 yards. Stanford 1 for 9, which was the hook and ladder. Kastner 2 for 16. Taliaferro caught 1, but it was negative yardage. And Lopez 1 catch for 17 yards. And what started this game was the great ground attack. And starting with Coronado, really Coronado didn't carry the ball, but maybe for the fourth time, he was the fourth ball carrier in the game, but he finishes the half with 11 carries for 100 yards even.
My goodness, he just runs well in big chunks.
It's fun to watch him run because he's so shifty. He can get through a lot of traffic and make some good gains. Stanford had 1 carry for 20. Kastner 1 for 7. Pimentel comes in, and I use the word inspired. He's just playing with so much energy, and that's so contagious. I know he's leading his team that way. He has 4 carries for 52 yards. Williams has 1 for 6. Murray 1 for 4. Johnson 1 for -2, and O'Hare 1 for 14.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take this second break. The Esprit de Corps finishing up their performance. At halftime, the Bulldogs lead the Marble Falls Mustangs 20-0 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve with some real hope.
In the 1960s, Winston Churchill made this observation about morality in Great Britain. He said this: "The moral landslide in Great Britain can be traced to the fact that heaven and hell are no longer preached in the land." People today have conveniently forgotten that God is holy, 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 and they fail to comprehend the ominous warning in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31, "It is a terrifying thing to fall into the hands of the living God." People think they can sin with impunity, but the truth is this: God is the righteous judge, and no one gets away with sin. May you and I be sobered to the evils all around us and sensitive to any sin lurking in the shadows of our own hearts. The Lord is coming. May we be found ready when He returns, because it's in Christ alone where we find real hope.
Find real hope in Jesus Christ. Visit FromHisHeart.org.
Welcome to Breakpoint, a daily look at an ever-changing culture through the lens of unchanging truth. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. Presidential elections are often treated as the pinnacle of democratic engagement and American civic duty. Historically, voter turnout during presidential election years is about 1.5 times, or about 60% of eligible voters, that of midterm election years, which usually total only around 40% of eligible voters. In recent years, voter turnout has reached record highs for both presidential and midterm election years. And I suspect that the more that Americans trend towards relying on the government to solve their problems and provide for their needs, while simultaneously distrusting the other side to do so, well, these numbers are just likely to grow even more. Political engagement, especially in this particular politically charged season, is an especially difficult thing for Christians to navigate. Christians in America do tend to be more politically engaged and to vote than their non-Christian counterparts. This, of course, today frequently brings accusations of Christian nationalism, but those are only leveled at Christians on the political right, though there's plenty of data that suggests that they are actually more political than their conservative counterpoints. Liberal Christians are rarely ever accused of getting too political. Now, to be sure, there is confusion between politics and faith that happens on both sides of the political aisle and across denominational spectrums. And at least some of the mixing is happening from the outside in, not the inside out. Back in 2021, political scientist and statistician Ryan Burge noted that, and I quote, "Millions of Americans are being drawn to the evangelical label because of its association with the GOP. Many are neither regular churchgoers nor have any real attachment to Christian doctrine. This is just another way," as Burge put it, that, quote, "what it means to be evangelical is being radically remade today," end quote. In fact, so much of our wider culture is being remade these days by all of the political heat. On one hand, citizens should vote. Christians especially should vote. It's a way of doing good. It's a way of loving our neighbor. On the other hand, it's not good when the political sucks so much air out of the cultural room. Currently, politics is carrying far more cultural weight than it is ever able to bear. For Christians, the confidence that Christ is Lord has to be the ground from which we engage politics. God has called us to be in the world even as we are not of it. He chose to put us in this cultural moment. See Acts chapter 17. Within a Christian worldview, one that sees every sphere of life as important and under the reign of Christ, the political is neither inflated nor trivialized. Christians can be engaged in politics without the other parts of our life together being subsumed by it. Christian political engagement must begin with a proper understanding of citizenship, especially that, first and foremost, we are citizens of the city of God. As such, we strive to live in accordance with God's law, to self-govern, according to the love of God and love of neighbor. When we do this, not only is it unnecessary to have more and more laws, Supreme Court decisions, or bureaucratic agencies for each and every issue of life, but we can be the best citizens of the city of man to which we have been called and placed. Second, our most important commitments, the commitments to love God and to love our neighbor, shape the values which shape our vote. The issues that we prioritize, whether the rule of law or the protection of the preborn, are first and foremost moral concerns that have political implications, not the other way around. Now, to be sure, to advocate for these values will mean being accused, as I recently was, of Christian nationalism. But we can't concern ourselves with being name-called or being disdained, nor should we believe that all will be lost if a vote doesn't go our way. Finally, our Christian political engagement should hit its fever pitch, not during election season. You see, the only way to relieve the political pressures of our day will be to build up the non-political and pre-political aspects of our lives together. That means especially the family and the church. You see, when we care well for our children, our neighbors, and our communities in all the ways that we're able to, then the state doesn't have to. Now, of course, there are plenty of folks who believe that the government should do all the work, but they are wrong. There is a better way. And we must know both how to articulate that better way and be willing to live it out as well. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet with Breakpoint. Today's Breakpoint was co-authored by Jared Hayden. If you're a fan of Breakpoint, leave us a review at your favorite podcast app. And for more resources to live like a Christian today, go to breakpoint.org.
A weird fish and a tree. This is Ken Ham, author of the Apologetics Resource for Kids, Dinosaurs for Kids. I'm going to tell you two stories. In one, a fisherman catches an odd-looking fish that turns out to be a coelacanth thought to be extinct for 70 million years. Now, in the second story, a park officer finds a Wallamai pine tree thought to have gone extinct 200 million years ago. These stories remind us that if evolution of millions of years are true, then surely the coelacanth or the Wallamai pine would have evolved or gone extinct over tens of millions of years. Yet we still find them today virtually unchanged. And that's because life didn't evolve. You see, the Earth is only thousands of years old.
Subscribe to enjoy free daily email insights from Ken Ham when you visit us at AnswersRadio.com. Be equipped at AnswersRadio.com.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
In some respects, I led a privileged childhood. I grew up in a rural Iowa town with good schools and recreation programs. I was one of the oldest of 9 children, but we always had enough of everything. Our lifestyle came at a price, though. Dad worked on a rail yard, but had a series of other odd jobs to provide for us. Some of my siblings earned extra income tasseling corn over the summer, and we all worked hard around the house, picking vegetables, pickling them for the winter, and helping Mom bake bread and do all the household chores. With so much work to be done, we had little time to socialize with friends. The only day off we had was Sunday, when we all worshiped together as a family. My oldest sister began to resist my parents' strict rules. She moved out, so I began to absorb more responsibilities caring for my younger siblings. My mother sank into a depression and suffered from headaches. I began to doubt myself, as well as the faith I'd once accepted without question. After speaking with older Christians and praying for guidance, I learned that it's normal to doubt faith, and that questioning things can help us find answers that make our faith even stronger. I've learned that everyone needs a Savior to give them peace of mind and to protect them from the darkness in their hearts. I'm Madeline Nelson. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser with you live. It is halftime. Bulldogs lead 20-0, and the Esprit de Corps finished their fine performance. The Mustang Band, they have some kind of, well, it's a festive thing. They're changing hats now during the middle of it, so they're in the part of their performance. Still got a little under 5 minutes on the halftime clock. Bulldogs, again, lead 20-0. Marble Falls will get the second half kickoff. You know, all things said, total domination by the Bulldogs in the first half. You really can't look at anything. They didn't get in the end zone a couple of times. But the Mustangs look at halftime, and this seems to be kind of games they had been trying to play and hang around. Now, they're going to have to show something on offense. I don't recall them getting a first down.
They didn't get a first down.
Yeah, in that first half, and so that needs to continue. But, you look at, they come out, make some adjustments. First drive, happen to get a score. I think that first drive very crucial. Get that stop, get a score, and then you can, keep that pressure up. But and I'm not trying to, because right now they have shown no life on the offensive side against the Bulldogs defense. I'm not trying to, but it is. It's only a 20-point game at halftime, and that is not a huge something to overcome, and Bulldogs need to understand that.
And I think they will. Yeah. I think the Bulldogs will come out and make a statement on defense, and if they can get that stop, then I agree with you. The Mustangs have not shown the ability to tackle well. Their offense is inept. Just I'm not trying to be mean, but they don't look in sync. They, passing, to have a passing attack, you've got to have timing, and they just don't. Their receivers are covered, and the quarterback made one good choice on one play where he tucked it and ran it, and if he does that more often, then maybe they can pick up a first down, but they've got a long ways to go to be good at running the spread and having a passing attack.
The Bulldogs, and they didn't tackle well, but the Bulldogs were stopped twice, inside the 20-yard line in the red zone, and those are the kinds of things. And fortunately, now you look up, a year ago we'd struggled over time with the kicking game, and we probably don't line up for 27, 28-yard field goal attempts. And so that, as you said, is very much a weapon by Campos Huerta and the Bulldogs now. But, you take those 6 points off the board. And so that's really important to add into when we get stopped like that. But they have been able to find a couple ways to get us off the field. And we hurt ourselves, especially on that one drive.
I was going to ask you if you think it was mostly their great defense or
no,
good enough defense, or did we kind of stop
great
ourselves?
Defense, but they forced us into some long play. We
had to go for it.
We had to go for it, and they made a play. And so that those kinds of things, there's no doubt that's what they're looking for too. They're trying to build confidence and find what they can. I was just looking back over that first half. The Bulldogs did get the opening kickoff, and it was the touchdown and then 2-point conversion, field goal, TD. So they scored on their first drive. They forced 5 punts too. I mean, like I say, and that's my only point. When you dominate that much, don't give up any first downs. 20 points doesn't seem like the same thing. Oh, we're down 20 if you back and forth, and that's the only thing. But I do believe the Bulldogs they've shown they're more physical. They've shown it. They played better football tonight, and that's why they lead 20-0. Just need to continue to do that, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think we sit here and we watch, and we want more points on the board.
Yes, I do.
Because, and we know what's coming down the road too with some teams where you're going to have to put some more points on the board, or you're going to have to play stellar defense. And we haven't seen the next 3 teams in our district, but they're going to be better than this, and so you're going to have to capitalize on those times when you get the ball down in scoring position, and maybe even continue to kick the extra points. Maybe our coaches, I'm sure our coaches saw something that, we want to go for that extra 2-point conversion. But that's, those are points that we're leaving off the board that I think are pretty automatic.
Yeah. In the past, we didn't even earlier tonight, we wondered maybe there was some other reason, but there was no doubt it wasn't because of the kicking game, because we saw that with the 2 field goals. So it was for whatever other purpose. The Bulldogs did get on the scoring at the 8:41 mark of the first quarter with a pass from Murray to Pimentel. That was a 6-yard pass. Pimentel then ran it in for the 2-point conversion. Then at the 23-second mark of the first quarter, it was a 27-yard field goal by Marcos Campos Huerta to make it 11-0. And it is the top of the hour, so give you station ID. You're listening to Burnett Bulldog Football on KMPN Burnett. So 11-0 at the end of the first quarter. And the second quarter at the 8:10 mark, the Bulldogs got another field goal, the 28-yard field goal from Campos Huerta, make it 14-0. And then at the 5:57 mark, it was the 1-yard touchdown by Pimentel. And set up by that long run by Coronado. Again, you said had 100 yards in that first half, but Pimentel got the 1-yard touchdown run. Went for 2, couldn't make it. And so that's where we're at this 20-0 halftime score. Both teams are getting ready to be back on the field very shortly.
Maybe they're hiding in their tunnels.
Maybe. Well, they still, I'm not sure if they still have some of them. Still got some of the, I think they're getting ready to come through. Still some of their dancers on the field. I wasn't sure if that was. But the refs are coming back on the field now. It will be Marble Falls to get the second half kickoff as they won and deferred the toss.
The Bulldogs just now coming out of the building.
Yeah, there's a little ways to walk, so they're not to their tunnel yet.
Maybe they were waiting for the sound of the bands to stop before they came.
Not gonna, maybe so, and it did. The band, the Marble Falls band, just finished just a few moments ago. Next week, just to throw it out there again. Oh, there go the lights all around as the Mustangs come back on the field. That throws me off. All of a sudden, it got dark real quick out there. The Bulldogs do come home next week to face the Lampasas Badgers. So, again, we'll talk a little more about that and the importance of that at the end of the game. We're not looking ahead, but it is going to be an important game, a big game. And I do. Look, I love people listening, and we know you can't be here. That's why we want to bring you these games. And, of course, at home games, the video channel as well that we send our audio feed through. But good crowd here tonight. Expect a great crowd. And it's one of those, to me, it is wake the neighbors and call family, and if somebody's coming into town, make it next week, as we might have a visitor coming next week as well. We'll talk about at some point. But the big crowd is going to be a big game. So we'll talk a little bit about it at the end again, but that is, and right now, big game here. The Bulldogs need to finish up leading 20-0 at halftime over Marble Falls.
I agree. Bulldog fans need to pack the stands next Friday night and show the support for a football team that has made huge strides since the beginning of the year, since that Eastview game when we, really were outmatched. And so show these guys that you appreciate what they've done so far for Burnett football.
Yeah, and I know it'll be a good crowd, but yeah, this is the one where if anybody, I don't want to go every, it's hard, and we love it. Bring them.
I agree.
Bring this is, and I mean that might say that every week, but I'm sorry, Lampasas is coming to town. Last year we were in Lampasas last year.
We were.
Yeah. So it is Burnett to kick off. Campos Huerta will line it up at the 40-yard line. We do appreciate you joining us wherever it might be on the World Wide Web, on BTXSportsOnline.com or KMPN 95.9 FM locally. We're ready for the second half of Burnett Bulldog football. It's a line drive kick. Gonna be returned from the 3-yard line to the 10. And missed one tackle to get to the 20. Who was that coming flying there? Was it Kasner? It seemed like it has to be.
Is.
And he missed it. My goodness, did he sell out to get that tackle? And it ended up, got help behind him
from Lather
to the 22.
Yeah, he missed him, but Lather came in and grabbed an ankle and wrapped him up.
Oh, my goodness. But he was going for the tackle at about the 15. And if he didn't, I mean, he slid on the turf here about 8 yards. Love to see it. First and 10 for the Mustangs at the 22. Quarterback, Minor. Aguilar, the running back. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Minor going to hand it off to Aguilar. Nope, throws it out in the flat, and catch is made. And there was tight coverage there. I can't see who made that. I can't tell the number on the outside. Going to be a pickup of about 9.
Well,
it was number 4, Jet Mardich, got the catch of. They give him the first down. First down of the night at the 32-yard line. First and 10. Mustangs get their first down. Going to keep it himself this time and gets hit hard does Minor after a short gain. We'll give him 3 yards to the 35.
They're going to play a little hurry up.
Yep.
I'm going to put the fact that we can't read their numbers on their uniform designer. Just tough.
It is. They've got the 4 wide receivers set on the right side, but it's going to be a keeper by the quarterback, and he pays a price. He gets a couple of yards to the 36, maybe just 1 yard. It'll bring up a 3rd down quickly, 3rd and long, as Minor kept that one. And they're lining up quickly again, 1 receiver to the left. So it's 3rd down and 6 for the Mustangs to starting the 3rd quarter. They trail 20-0. Minor in shotgun. Snap. He throws it, and he's hit as he throws. Pressure came, and the ball doesn't get there. Incomplete. Didn't really have much of a chance, and it's 4th down and 6 from their own 36-yard line. And the punting unit comes on again. The Bulldogs gave up their first down, but then shut Marble Falls offense down again.
They sure did. Evan Joyner coming through and beating his would-be blocker to get to the quarterback and cause an errant throw.
The punter's got to feel good. I'm sorry, he's punting from the 24.
Well,
he's been standing inside his 10. Snap is back, and he does get a kick away. Pretty good kick, high kick. Fair catch called for. Late one there, but Park again comes up and secures it at about the 27-yard line. Worst field position I believe the Bulldogs have started with as well, but still 1st down and then 3 and out, but they did force the punt.
I'm trying to read the number. Is it 30? Is that the punter?
Sure.
Yeah. 20.
I'm going to go.
20 is the punter.
Joaquin Aguilar.
Joaquin.
Yes, thank you. Joaquin needs a shout-out because he's been out in the field a lot.
That was what I was going to say.
Pretty good punt. I mean, he's done it. He kept them high and not able to return them.
You're right.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. It'll be Murray at quarterback, trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Coronado in the backfield to his left. Man goes in motion. That's Stanford. Going to throw it out. Stanford, but the ball was swatted down. Had pressure. They're starting to bring. I think they feel like the Marble Falls defense has got to take some chances, and they came through their incomplete pass.
Yeah, didn't get that blocked quite as well as we'd like to, and Murray couldn't throw it around the defender, who did a good job getting his arms up and getting a deflection.
2nd down and 10. At the 27-yard line of Burnett. Again, trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right, wide side of the field. Murray. Snap back. He's going to throw out in the flat. Catch is made, and down the sideline, a broken tackle. And it's Stanford. He might go the 30, the 20, the 10. It is a touchdown from Rhett Murray to Colt Stanford of 63 yards, a 63-yard touchdown. Murray got it to Stanford, but gives Stanford a lot of credit. He pulled away from the tackler had him on the shirt. He pulls away from it, goes down the sideline after about 15 yards, and he takes it the rest of the way for the score. Great job by Stanford of pulling away and taking it in for the score. Campos worked to attempt the extra point. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick is on the way. It's good. We're going to go ahead and keep it here. So, on one play, 63 yards. Murray to Stanford. Bulldogs lead now 27-0.
Well, Mark, honestly, it shouldn't have happened.
I agree.
We were looking up here thinking maybe we're going to run the football, but Murray throws an out route to Stanford, who takes a couple of steps and plants his foot and creates an opening. But the Marble Falls had 3 tacklers that should have brought him down and had hands on him. Just their tackling ability is pretty suspect. I thought maybe they'd get a horse collar at one point, but Stanford, with great effort, is able to put it in the end zone.
We started – did I get that right, though? We started that – no. It was at the 27, 73-yard touchdown. All that excitement I got now. Can't do math. But let's get it right on the numbers, right? It was at the 27-yard line because –
Does it still say? No.
Yeah, well, that's – because we had an incompletion. That was the second play of the drive, right? Yeah, they knocked it down, and we started at the 27. So that was a 73-yard touchdown from Murray to Stanford.
Well, that puts Murray at 191 and a lot of time left.
So 73-yard touchdown. Murray to Stanford. Campus work to the kickoff. Gets the leg into it again. Fair catch called for at the 5-yard line. So I think that makes it to the 25. Isn't that right? Is that the rule that's been like 4 years in place? So always confuses me. All right, so the Bulldogs with the big play. 10-14 to go in the third quarter. They now lead 27-0.
Another thing this does, Mark, is if you, losing this game is not the end of the world for either team, but if Marble loses this game big, which looks like it might happen, then it's got to be pretty tough to gear up for the next 3 when you're about to play the top 3 teams.
Absolutely. They're going to hand it off. Aguilar is met in the backfield. He'll lose yards and a yard back. So they do start at the 25. Now it's at the 24-yard line.
I like that. Bulldogs doing a good job of policing themselves and their teammates.
They have. We've seen some of that emotion show itself, but they've done a great job of keeping it in check, just what Coach Spear had talked about. 2nd down and 11 for the Mustangs. Clock runs at 9:41 to go in the third quarter. 27-0 Bulldogs. District opener here in Marble Falls. To throw, Minor does have time now. He pulls it down, has a lot of room to run, tries to bounce it outside, lowers the shoulder. Give credit to the young man. He took on the tacklers. But let's see. He's going to be short. He was hit hard. He gets to the 33-yard line. That was a gain of 9. But it'll be 3rd down and about 1. Oh, Bulldogs jumped. Got a free play for the Mustangs, and then it was a pass incomplete. But Bulldogs got a little ahead of themselves. That'll give the Mustangs a 1st down up at the 38-yard line. There are messages coming in. I just have to ignore. So if Mr. Evans is involved with it, where's Messer?
He's been
Okay.
I think he went to the UT-OU game, and so he's checking in.
I'm not good enough for the text anymore. I see how it goes. Do appreciate you listening wherever it may be. Been all Bulldogs. Let's keep it that way. But a 1st down for the Mustangs after the penalty there. They'll have it at the 38-yard line. Minor in shotgun, gets the snap. He's going to throw. Pressure comes, and ball's knocked loose. That is a ball knocked loose and picked up a sack, fumble, and I don't know whoever got the hit is the one who came up with the football too. And I think it was it looks like it was 7. Tell me it was Riley Howe. I think it was Howe there. Looked like he got the hit, ball bounced, and then he went and got it. And he did put a lick on Minor.
Yeah, that's who they're congratulating, Mark, and it was number 7. He put just a beautiful form tackle, and
perfect.
Minor was throwing the football. In fact, if you're in the NFL and you're replaying that, it's probably what do they call it? Open hand.
Yeah,
his
he
hand
was
going
trying to
forward.
hold it, and then but no.
But not here.
No,
and
it's
so the
a
Bulldogs take
turnover,
over.
fumble. Bulldogs start at the 23-yard line of Marble Falls. They got all kinds of motion. They're going to swing it out to Ladler, who had been that motion man. He makes one tackler miss, gets a block, gets it inside the 15 to about the 12. That was Ladler with the reception. Yeah, he'd gone in motion. We've seen that before where they go behind the quarterback. But he picks up 11 yards and a first down. Pass from Murray. Now the diamond formation with Murray, Ladler behind him, Coronado to the left, Kasner to the right. Kasner gets the handoff. He gets a block. He turns it up. The 5. Kasner lowers his shoulder, rolls in. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Kasner with the 12-yard touchdown run gives the Bulldogs a 33-0 lead with the extra point to come. My goodness, they had the blocking. Kasner took on the defender at about the 3 and took him into the end zone for the score. Again, a 12-yard run for Chris Kasner. And now it's the extra point attempt by Campos Huerta. Snap is back. It's low. Pimentel has to pick it up. He's trying to get away from it, and he'll get taken down. And the 2-point conversion, no good. We're going to go ahead and take a break with 8:03 to go in the third quarter. 33-0 Bulldogs lead on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
Getting to heaven isn't just about putting enough good on one side of the scale to balance the bad on the other. It's about fulfilling a death penalty, the one we deserve for our rebellion against God. None of the great moralities or great religions can pay the death penalty for our sin. Only Jesus Christ's death on the cross can do that. You have to look to Him as the only one who can save you. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM.
Mark Edmondson back here live. I don't know why I take this kind of punishment from Brandon Evans. But, I've known Mr. Evans a long time. And each time I wonder why. Yes, I've got the he has a face for radio text. Thank you very much. It's true. Those of you who haven't seen me, well, that Mr. Evans will explain it to you. But I do appreciate you listening. You got to admit, we have a good time.
Well, I was going to say, when we get quiet, that's when we're reading all of these.
Yes, indeed. All right, burn it to kick off after the 12-yard touchdown run by Kasner. Campos Huerta, he's had to kick off a lot tonight. Fair catch called for again at about the 3, still getting a lot of leg into it, so Marble Falls will start again at the 25. So the last drive started because of the Howell fumble, the hit and fumble, and then capped off with the score. The ended up being the snap was low. Pimentel picked it up. He couldn't get the 2-point conversion, easy for me to say, and that's why it is 33-0. Burnett defense back on the field. Marble Falls will start 1st and 10 at their own 25. 8:03 to go, third quarter.
You know, you look at the scoreboard and 33 points, Mark. That starting to feel a little more comfortable.
I like that
for
number
us.
better. I don't like that number better.
And, you know, considering the fact that Marble Falls, I don't think they've had the ball past their 40, have they?
No, they got a couple of first downs, but, about the 35. All Bulldogs. This time a keeper, and that might have been – that looked like a different number. Double-check that, see if you can see. I thought that was 7, and that –
yeah, we have a different quarterback. That was Alejandro Ochoa, though, on the hard tackle.
Doak Timmerman. If it's 7, it is Doak Timmerman. So Timmerman at quarterback. And he's right-handed. That's one of the things that helped me see that.
Yeah, I watched him warm
Minor
up.
was, yes, left-handed.
He's a pretty thick kid.
So he got a yard there, 2nd down and 9. They're going to hand it off to Aguilar, and there was their best run play of the night for about 6 or 7 yards, and it gets to the 32-yard line.
Okay, so sometimes when you have a change at quarterback, it can spark something. So the Bulldogs have got to do a good job of wrapping up and making sure they keep 7, Timmerman, in the pocket. Don't let him get out.
It's 3rd and 2, short 2, from the 33-yard line for the Mustangs. Man goes in motion. 2 men go in motion. And there's confusion. Timeout. Marble Falls will keep it here. Yeah, something didn't look right about that, and Marble Falls calls a timeout. So it's 33-0. It's a 3rd and 2 here, but a timeout by the Mustangs. And there, Coach Messer, I appreciate you sent me a text, and appreciate that as well.
Well, and sometimes when you have a change in quarterback, you throw off your timing for getting the play in and executing the call and getting to the line of scrimmage, and so they had to take that timeout.
So, but they've done, the Bulldogs have done exactly what we talked about, just got the stop, coming out of the halftime, put points on the board, and you really did. And we talked about it early, too. This Marble Falls team, you could see if you're able to continue that kind of pressure, it's going to wear a team down. They have to play players both ways, too, and that has shown as well. So it'll be 3rd down and short for the Mustangs as we come back to play. Now it really is, you just want to keep playing aggressive, get the clock running. It is Timmerman at quarterback. Aguilar to his right on 3rd down. Snap back. He's going to throw. Now he pulls it down. He's in trouble. Timmerman will end up being sacked back at the 29-yard line. Tried to run it there after he had nobody open, but nowhere to go. Bulldogs swallowed him up. Loss of a couple. They give him the 30-yard line, but either way it'll be up 4th down and 5 now.
Evan Joyner again in there on the tackle, meeting Timmerman first. Another punt.
Park goes back. You're gonna
Joaquin Aguilar again,
the punter. He should get the most press. He's been on the field a lot for them. Bulldogs get close to it, but this is a line drive punt, can be returned by Park. Tries to get to the outside. Pretty good open field tackle there by the Mustangs. If he gets to the sideline, he was going to pick up another 15, 20 yards at least, but still good return by Park at the 43. That was the first kind of line drive kick, and Park took advantage of that.
Yeah, you could tell he was chopping his feet knowing he was going to get a chance to return it for the first time.
So Burnett will start at their own 43-yard line, leading 33-0, 6:07 to go. I'd like the clock to run.
Well, I expect the Bulldogs to keep their foot on the gas here and get another touchdown, or try to, and send it in the 4th quarter with a bigger lead to get some people in.
But they can do it with the running game, too. Our running game has been very good.
Oh,
Ochoa.
Definitely.
And they hand it up to Ochoa, and he breaks it. No, it's not Ochoa.
Lopez.
It's Lopez down the sideline, and he breaks through one tackle and another. Still on his feet. Does he go? Touchdown! If he didn't get out of bounds, it is a touchdown. What a great run by Lopez as he goes for 57 yards, and he broke tackle after tackle. Peyton Lopez, a 57-yard touchdown run to make it 39-0 with the extra point to come. I just assumed he was going to be tackled there a couple times. He just wouldn't go down in the last couple yards, stumbling even, keeping his feet to get into the end zone. Extra point attempt. Snap is back. It's good. Hold is good. Kick is on the way. And it is good for the Bulldogs. I'm going to keep it here so you can talk about that. I kept waiting for him to go down. He just wouldn't. And it's with 5:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs 40 and the Mustangs nothing. And what a tremendous run by Peyton Lopez.
It really was, Mark. He got the handoff in the backfield, went opposite. Looked like it was going to go on the left side of the line, but the hole opened up. He bounced it to the outside. And I wouldn't say that Peyton is the fastest player on our team, but he was just fast enough. He outran at least 2 Mustangs that should have tackled him. And really, Peyton just punished the last defender, dove in the end zone, and
the
really
sideline, he had to keep his feet
He
down.
did. He did a great job of tight roping the sideline, but really wasn't hit hard until one of our linemen, and I'm not sure who it was, dogpiled him in the end zone.
All right, 57-yard touchdown run, so one play and the score. That makes it at the 5:54 mark, and the Bulldogs are now just pulling away. They have pulled away.
This is what we wanted to see.
Not just a straight run on the sweep, and the Bulldogs just able to execute it better. And you can tell now the Mustangs really tired. Campus worked at the kickoff. It is 40-0. This one.
Why wouldn't he run that?
Yep, he is taking a fair catch at about the 9. They get it at the 25, but there is a lot of space there, and you're right. But they do call for the fair catch again. They'll start at their 25. Maybe to not take some punishment on the team. You know, it's a coach's decision, I think.
Maybe so.
Maybe. I'd say, let's get it up to 25. Let's get our offense out there. And I don't know.
Well, okay.
But it's first and 10.
I'm just going to call the next play.
Yep. First and 10 for the Mustangs. Bulldogs now up 40-0. First and 10, Timmerman to throw in the pocket. Pressure comes, throws it out. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to, I think it was number 20 over there, Aguilar.
Coronado on the coverage. Really thought that ball might be intercepted, except he threw it a lot further out of bounds than he looked like he was going to.
So incomplete, second and 10. The only problem is right now, the clock is not run much at all. We had one touchdown play, and now incompletions. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Timmerman hands it off. Nowhere to go. I'm in the backfield. Again, you can just see it. The Mustangs, Bulldogs have their ears pinned back, and the Mustangs just not able to stop them.
Yeah, that was Brian Johnson getting a little more turf time and making a great tackle.
Aguilar loses a couple of yards back to the 23-yard line. So it'll bring up a third down and 12. Third and 12. Mustangs trying to have a little confusion on where to line up. Timmerman in shotgun. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. That's the short side of the field. Low snap. Timmerman picks it up. Throws in the middle screen. They do set up the screen, but even with that, they don't have the speed inside to. It goes for some positive yards to the 32, but the Bulldogs able to close out when there was more room there, and the Bulldogs stop it short of the first down, bring up fourth down and about 3.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call by the coaches.
It was.
But again, just the execution of it, just not there yet.
So it is fourth down and 3. Fourth down. Bulldogs almost jump, but they don't get the snap, so that would have been enough for a first down. Now they look to the sideline. The offense on the field on 4th and 3. Timmerman now drops back to do a quick kick, it looks like. He does quick kick it, and it's a short quick kick. And Bulldogs just need to get away from it. It does, and they will take over at their own 44-yard line. So a quick kick that didn't go very far ended up, again, forcing another punt.
Well, I tell you, Marvel's got to feel like they've played the entire half on their side of the whole game on their side of the field.
They have.
And they really have.
I mean, about the 40 or 40, it's at the 45 here, but it's been.
Could have turned those whole sets of lights off and just played on one side of the field tonight. Now, they have Stephenville next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Brownwood is taking the lead is what I got an update from Mr. Molina. Thank you. Brownwood 20, Lampasas 17 in the third.
Well,
Vernon has it first and 10. Let's make sure check. Is Murray in at quarterback here? at the 45-yard line. Diamond formation. I'll have to really check for
probably
who's
for 4 more
gonna
minutes.
Throw it out.
Goodness.
Laidler gets hit. And they read that, and he somehow makes the catch. It's going to be a loss of 4 yards because of a good defensive play. And the Mustang who made it is going to have to, I think, come off the field for a moment. It was a good job of reading it. It is lost back to the 42-yard line, a loss of 2, bring up second down. And, well, they say a loss of 3, second down and 13. I'm sorry.
I hope that young man is okay.
Yes.
He's holding his shoulder, not in a good way.
Yeah, official timeout for.
But yeah, that play was that young man ended up getting hurt, but he kind of blew that play up.
He did. And I don't know how they completed it. Everything happening there. It was a good pass. Laidler did a good job of catching it, but then by then he was knocked down. We'll bring up second down and 13. Let's make sure Howell's in the backfield with Murray and Laidler. I think that is Coronado to his left. The diamond formation. Laidler's the back behind, but they give it off. No, it's not. It's Lopez again. Lopez was to the left of Murray. He takes the ball, goes past midfield. Peyton Lopez takes it to the 49-yard line on the Marble Falls side of the field. And that's a gain of 6. So it'll bring up third down and 4. Lopez with the carry. So Lopez has had a big night now all here in the third quarter.
Yeah, he really has.
It is third down and 4. Third and 4. Murray again, diamond formation, snapback. He's going to hand it off to Lopez again. Gets away from one tackle. He'll have the first down and more down the sideline. Or he's taken down inside the 35. I mean, he's got to be pushing towards 100 yards in this third quarter. He gets to the 32. No, why did they? A flag back at the 50, so hold on to that. Did not see that.
He runs tough, though.
He does, yeah. Must hold on the outside. Holding against the Bulldogs, so some of that will come back. A lot of it coming back. So we'll go back on the Burnett side of the field to the 41-yard line after the 10-yard mark off. 2:52 to go in the third quarter. It's third down and 14 now. That was the third down play. So third and 14 after the hold. 2 trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Murray looks to the sideline. Lopez shifts back and forth now on the left side of Murray. Man goes in motion. That's Williams. He sets up to throw. On the pass was high. It never seemed like everybody was in the right place. They tried to get it on the outside, incomplete, and I believe we're going to punt. I think they were trying to get that to Prather, I believe, but it is incomplete, and the punting unit comes on.
Why not? I haven't written his name down yet.
You're running out of places to.
Yeah. Used to one sheet was plenty.
No, that is not the case this year.
And it is not, which I like it.
Laidler into punt, high snap, he gets it and gets it away, and he's done a good job punting. There's another good punt there. Takes a good Burnett bounce on the turf.
Ooh.
And one of the Marble Falls players, that would not be a mistake they need right there. It almost bounced and hit him in the leg, but it didn't. And it's at the 17-yard line. So first punt of the night, a good one for Laidler. He has really, the last few weeks, been very important all the way around. But the punting has been very successful.
Punting game, kicking game.
2 games ended on punts.
Both of those have been great weapons for the Bulldogs so far.
So Marble Falls will start at their own 17-yard line. They have started 3 possessions in this half on the 25, 1 on the 22, 1 on the 17, their own, in the third quarter. All right, so it is Timmerman at quarterback, Aguilar to his left, snap back. They're going to pitch it on the sweep, and nowhere to go. Read nicely by Park. Trevin Park comes in there, and It wasn't going anywhere anyway. Park stood his ground, though, and it's no gain on the play. I'm not quite sure who it was on the wide receiver on the right came on the sweep, but nowhere to go, 2nd and 10.
Park is such a good football player, and the third brother of some really good football players that have come through Burnett.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Timmerman to throw. Pressure comes, and he goes down. Just the Bulldogs know they're in a position to have to throw. Howell and another Bulldog kind of met, and it was I'm not trying to be too funny here, Mustang sandwich. I mean, he just got met in the middle, and he took a hard hit. Might have been 33, but I know Howell was one of them. I'm not sure if Adler Gehring was in there. You think it was
Evan Joyner again.
All right.
And
loss of 3.
Riley Howell.
Yep. Back at the 17-yard line, where it is at the 14 now. Sorry, 14. Loss of 3. 3rd down and 13. I'm lost with how many. It's really started to slow down, and the Mustangs call a timeout with 49 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. We're keeping it here.
Speaking of brothers, we're talking about the Parks. Riley Howell's brother, Braden, has gone on to play at Sam Houston, and he's been there ever since he graduated, and believe he's getting some meaningful playing time this year and doing some good things. Almost blocked a punt a couple of weeks ago. So super good football player that was here in Burnett has gone on to play Division I football.
Now, because I would have been in there calling it, but because there's been a couple. Was he the quarterback as well?
No. He played defensive end.
Okay, all right.
Here in Burnett and tight end, defensive end and tight end.
Wasn't one of the? There was a Howell that was the quarterback for a time too. I got to think back then. I'm almost there at some point.
Not
Played
that
some.
I remember.
Old age is creeping up on me. Okay, it's moving at a real fast pace, not creeping, but so some names start to fit together.
Well,
but Riley's had an excellent night tonight.
He has. He's done a great job for this team.
So it is 3rd down and 13 for the Mustangs. 49 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Timmerman rolls to his right, looking to throw. Pass out in the flat, and it's high, incomplete. Bring up another 4th down. Appreciate that. I'm glad it sounds like we're having fun here. Most of the time we do. Oh, new update. Lampasses has taken the lead 23-20 over Brownwood. Going down the end.
9:44 in the 4th quarter.
Wow. So other district action going down to the wire. Marble Falls to punt again. Aguilar back at a more familiar.
Yeah, it really is familiar.
Tonight. He's at the 3-yard line.
Inside the 5 again.
Snap back.
Well,
gets it away.
We are having fun because it's a lot more fun to win.
It is
40
a lot of fun to win. It is indeed. That one, a short kick, is going to be at the 38-yard line on Marble Falls. Aguilar got to be tired. That leg got to be. They're going to have to
ice it down.
Yes. And this one goes to the 44. Burnett starts on the Marble Falls 44, leading 40-0. 34 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's too early. We've got a whole quarter to play, right? We do have another quarter to go.
Yes, I was looking at that too. This has been a long 3rd quarter.
But well,
the
Bulldogs are probably gonna leave their starters out here, try to get another touchdown before the quarter ends, and then maybe see what happens. But can't start looking ahead yet.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray in shotgun. Man goes in motion. That's Prather. They're going to hand it off to Lopez. He's on the right side, makes a cut. Going to get positive yards inside the 30, and a good gain, not just positive yards. It's right at 10. They might give him 11 to the 20. Now give him the 29. It's a 1st down, 10 yards on the carry.
He runs tough.
He does.
He runs really physical, stiff arming, using his strength. He's a big kid, and that's probably going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
It will. So we will take a break. Going to the 4th quarter. Burnett county battle, Bulldogs 40, the Marble Falls Mustangs nothing on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Do you know the feeling of debilitating guilt and shame? We all feel guilt over something, but shame can attach to our soul and secretly become our identity. Have you endlessly tried to find ways to forget that shame? Come out of the dark and talk to someone that can help you discover that you are not alone. Jesus loves you. To find out how to get that freedom through a relationship with Jesus, call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com to chat online.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. It is 40-0. All Bulldogs. They have dominated and came out and have done all the things they've needed to do. Need one more quarter to go. They lead 40-0 to get off to a 5-game winning streak, and more importantly, that 1-0 in district.
I was thinking about our conversation with Mr. Molina this afternoon, and I'm thinking he's right. We need to give him a little credit. I think he said the Bulldogs would either win by a lot or it would be close.
That's offensive. Like,
that's what he said.
Come on, what is it, like chance? Yes. Oh, come on. Man goes in motion. Prather. Murray. Hands off up the middle. Lopez still on his feet. He's going to get another 10 yards, maybe 9 this time. It was. Do want to make sure that's Lopez. They might sub somebody else in on us. That was 9-yard gain.
Yes,
yeah, it is Lopez. There. Yes, at the 21-yard line. Well, we gave him 8 yards on that. Come on. So it's at the 21. Second down and a short 2. Lopez in the backfield with Murray. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Second down and 2. Murray, snap back, hands it off to Lopez up the middle. He makes one man miss. He's still on his feet near the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 10. That's an 11-yard gain. And it is 1st and goal for the Bulldogs right at the 10-yard line. Good blocking. It was, I mean, they're running well, but the blocking, they have dominated at the line.
That's a great point. They have dominated the line of scrimmage. But, man, if you can add Peyton with this kind of brutal physical running, and then you have your Coronado who's shifty, you got all kinds of looks that you can throw at the defense.
1st and goal from the 10. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lopez in the backfield with Murray. And
one of the few mistakes the Bulldogs have made tonight, Mark, and I'm not
false
sure.
Start.
Honestly, I don't know that that's what he called.
Or an illegal shift.
Maybe illegal. Yeah, it's got to be a legal shift. I'm not sure who it
was.
Gone
down to 0. I don't think it was the delay.
No, it wasn't a delay.
All right, so it's back at the 15, where it'll be 1st and goal from the 15. Murray snap. He's going to throw, going to the right pylon, and couldn't get there. He threw the pass to the pylon. The receiver hadn't been able to get there yet, so incomplete. And that will bring up 2nd down and goal from the 15. The only thing that does, it stops the clock. I want the clock to run. 10:37 to go in the ball game. 40-0 Bulldogs have the lead and the ball. They are 2nd and goal at the Marble Falls 15. Trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Murray. Snap back, pass out. Gets it completed to Williams, but nowhere. No, it's not Williams. It's Aiden Sanchez. Aiden Sanchez, 6, not 5. But not much room to work there. Did they give him a couple of yards? Yeah, I think maybe 2 yards to the 13 on the pass. Clock does run.
That's Sanchez's first catch of the night.
So it is still goal to goal, so 3rd down and goal to goal. Sanchez and Cohen Jorplin split wide right. Lopez in the backfield. Murray in shotgun. Man goes in motion. That's Prather. Murray to throw in the pocket. Got to get rid of it. He does, and trying to get it to Jorpland at about the 6, and Prather at about the 6, couldn't come up with it, incomplete. I believe we're going to try another field goal. It is 4th and long, 4th and 13. Yes, Mr. Molina, you were right.
I would like to see a procedure call, and we back up a little bit.
We could just ask. Can we ask?
I want to test his leg.
He has a 27 and a 28-yard. This is Marcos Campos Huerta for 30 yards. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg, and it's good. The 30-yard field goal from Marcos Campos Huerta makes the score 43-0. Great job. 3 field goals on the night. Tell me the last time you remember saying that.
Well, I brought up Austin Huff's name a couple of weeks ago, and that's the last guy that I remember kicking the ball this efficiently, that far, as much as Campos Huerta is doing.
And still plenty of leg there. At first there, I thought, was it off to the left? But it looked still.
It did kind of look like he might have missed it left, but not from,
much
from our angle.
But still,
we were
it
wrong.
Was, again, high up the bar. It wasn't just trailing over. And you could easily see that going for another 20 yards. So he's had a 27, a 28, and now a 30-yard field goal, and that makes the score 43-0 Bulldogs. 9:36 to go here in the ball game.
Well, I tell you, I think Coach Spear has adopted the mantra of "be the one," and Campos Huerta has decided that he is going to be the one, and he's done a fantastic job in the kicking game.
And he will kick off again. He's kicked off well, and everyone has gone inside the 10.
Let's see if they fair catch this again.
Gets a leg into it, and a fair catch called for at the 5. So they will start at the 25 again.
The crowd has definitely thinned on the Marble side. Fantastic crowd for Burnett tonight. Just a great job of showing up for the Bulldogs.
It will be the Mustangs starting at their own 25-yard line. Again, appreciate you joining us wherever it might be. And we are going to start mentioning a little bit. Mentioned Ross Evans and went on to play for the number 2 TCU team. But that's been a number of years. Brandon Evans, a former kicker himself, going to throw it out. And that's the lefty back in there. And the catch is made, so it looked like Minor back in the game. That was a left-handed throw, wasn't it? And couldn't see who it was completed to, but they get up near the 30 to the 32-yard line. That's a gain of 7. So Minor gets it out in the flat. 2nd down and 3 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, another Mustang with an unrecognizable number.
Pass on the middle, that is caught. Going to be a 1st down for the Mustangs up at the 42 or 43.
Pretty good tackle. Charles Edwards in the game.
Was that? I'm not sure. That was Becker.
I can't tell.
Just the numbers I can't see for sure. So it is 1st down at the 43-yard line. That was a gain of 11 for the Mustangs. They look to the sideline. 43-0 Bulldogs lead. 8:35 counting 4th quarter. Next week we'll be at home. Lamb passes. Left out in the flat. That pass is dropped. Incomplete. 2nd down. Mr. Evans, I said that with all sincerity, yes. He had sent out Ross Evans, who kick for the Bulldogs and went to kick for TCU, and on that team that ended up as the number 2 team in the nation, he was the kicker for that team. But Brandon Evans, and I said it sincerely, I'd heard many stories about his accolades as a kicker, so proud to be his friend, and I say that loosely when he says my face is made for radio. So it is 2nd and 10 from the 43. Going to be a keeper, and not much there up to the 45-yard line for Minor. And it'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up Ross Evans. He was a fantastic weapon to have on some really good football teams. Early 2000s, if I remember right.
Third down and long. Throws it out in the flat and made a man miss. That was a good move. I think that might be Becker, and he's going to end up getting the first down. They had a beat on him, one of the Bulldogs defenders. And
88, Johnson
again. Just couldn't. He got there, but it was a good move, and that gets the first down to the 46 in Marble Falls side of Burnham side of the field for the first time tonight, I think. Past midfield, 1st and 10. Pass in the middle, completed to the 40-yard line. Gain of 6. Marble Falls trying to put some points on the board. You've got an update. I'll let you give that here in a second after this next play. That Lamb passes Brownwood game. Thank you, Mr. Molina, for keeping us updated. So it is 2nd down and about 3 at the 39-yard line for the Mustangs to throw. Throwing deep to Becker, and
wow, it's a good catch.
Yep, they said he was a playmaker, but they had shut him down all night, but he does make a big catch there. And, number 10, Cole Becker, gets him down to the 6-yard line. Well, it's a 33-yard pass play from Minor to Becker.
The Badgers have opened up a 10-point lead, 30-20, with 3:28 to go in the game.
Empty backfield. Going to be a keeper by the quarterback, and he wishes he could give it to somebody else. He is pushed back. Big hits by 2 or 3 Bulldogs. Pushes it back to about the 8-yard line. A loss of 2. Be 2nd and goal. 6:33 to go in the game. 43-0. Marble Falls, their biggest drive of the night. We're going to have officials timeout. One of the Bulldogs going to need a little attention here. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and we'll take a short break here. 6:26 to go in the game. The Bulldogs 43, the Mustangs nothing on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN. Now I'm going to keep it here. I was sorry. They already player up going to the sidelines, so we'll go ahead and wait. They should come back to play pretty quick. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think one of those teams may have taken a timeout.
Oh, really? I thought it was just the official. Okay. Well, that's all right. We'll stay here. You said the score. You were talking about Brownwood and Lampasas.
Yeah. 30-20 Lampasas with 2:33 to go. I'm sure Brownwood has the ball. So Lampasas scored a few times late to open up a lead.
So the Bulldogs it'd be nice to keep the shutout, but that really is in this not the most significant thing. Obviously, you got some other players playing now and just want to keep playing hard here. Let's get the last 6:26 off the board. And then the focus will shift to that Lampasas coming to town next week. Snapback to throw towards the back of the end zone and couldn't hold on to it. Again, trying to go to Becker and got to his body. Coverage was close, but he just, again, hit and had to try to keep the foot down and incomplete. 3rd down and goal from the 8. The quarterback is Minor again.
I was really kind of thinking Brownwood might pull that one out and was hoping maybe they would, just so that Lampasas would be coming in with a loss and us with a win, and never know what could happen.
Empty backfield for Minor. Snap back. He pump fakes, throw in the middle, and touchdown. I do believe it is to Cole Becker. Cole Becker from Minor. So Minor to Becker, 8-yard touchdown for the Mustangs. Their first score of the night at the 6:11 mark.
But no light show. Got the 6 points, but no fantastic lights.
They're going to go, maybe it doesn't work after 9:50. They're running somebody on late. Going to go for 2 here. Now they drop back to kick. Looks to me as Becker is the kicker. Snap back, hold is good, kick is on the way. And we'll take that break we didn't take a minute ago. With 6:11 to go in the game, it's 43-0 There's the light show. They were just waiting for the extra point. See, 43-7. Bulldogs lead the Mustangs on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN 95.9 FM.
Shalom, I'm Mitch Glazer, president of Chosen People Ministries. The Jewish people have a word we recite during Passover, but right now is an appropriate time also. The word is dayenu, translated, it would have been enough. Meaning, if God had only done this for us, the deliverance from Egypt, it would have been enough. But he went further. He always goes further. If God had only allowed the Messiah to be born, that would have been enough. But again, he went further. Yeshua took our sin upon himself and carried it to Calvary. He overcame death so that all who believe can have everlasting life. God himself did this because we could never do it. And now because of the Messiah Jesus, God made flesh, the conqueror of death, we can all say, Dayenu, what he did was enough.
To discover the Jewish heritage of your Christian faith, visit Chosen People Ministries at chosenpeople.com/radio.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser, back with you live. Bulldogs in a fun one, 43-7. They lead. Let's see. Do they onside kick here?
I don't know. You think we have fun on the air. Wait till if you only knew what we got to enjoy.
Thought about it putting us on TikTok Live, but then I thought, well, that might not last long. Kickoff deep and over that. And it stopped.
Good kick.
And picked up by Ladler, and he's going to have to return it, and then he's hit hard about the 18. He thought it gone in the end zone, and fortunately he did look back because it was at the 1 yard line just sitting there. And then he was like, wait. And he did. He got on it, then got it to I give him the 20. So, but I know he looked back, he kind of doubled, like, wait, that's still there.
Right.
It just stopped.
If he hadn't looked back, we would have been in trouble.
But he did. And he advances it to the 20. Let's run clock. 6:06 to go in the game. 43-7. Bulldogs have controlled it since the opening kickoff.
Quarterback is it one? Is it Edwards?
I'm thinking it's Edwards, but let's make sure.
Edwards and
man goes in motion. High snap. They're going to hand it up on the sweep.
Hold on to the ball.
And I think that might be Sanchez on the sweep, but again, right, yeah, it is Sanchez with the carry. He loses a yard to the 19. But stayed in bounds. Very smart. Run the clock, 5:48. That's a 19-yard line. Did I hear him say that right? It is Edwards. Okay. So
he doesn't have his
Charles Edwards. He's taken some snaps. Several.
I was looking for the one legging like he had last week, but he doesn't have that.
Double check. The running back is.
It was Lopez.
Okay.
I'm not sure who it is on this play.
2nd down and 11. Edwards gets the snap. Going to hand it off to Lopez. He was looking for some room and he made that was one of a few mistakes he's made. He had the hole to the left, thought he had it to the right, and just ran into more of the defenders. And he gets a yard out of it. He does get to the 20-yard line, so it'll bring up 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. Clock runs under 5 minutes to go in the game. 43-7 Bulldogs.
You would think Lopez would touch it a few more times, and he's at 92 yards right now, all in the second half.
A lot of it in that third quarter. Had to be. This is
right.
Yeah, this is only our first drive or second. We had that part of the drive, that last drive, field goal. 3rd and long. Edwards in shotgun. He's going to throw and is connected at about the catch made at the 25, kind of in that middle part. I didn't see who got there. I know it's not 12. It's 10. Park, I believe, made the catch. Park with the catch to the 25. It's a gain of 5 on the pass, but it'll bring up 4th down and about 5, so they will punt it. Edwards to Park for 5 yards on that last play.
That's good. Let him throw.
Yeah. Try to get that first down to keep it moving.
Needs the experience.
High snap. Ladler does a nice job to get the kick away and takes a great burn it bounce. And it's going to end up being near the 24, at the 24-yard line. Again, he does a good job, and I don't understand the dynamics of it and whether or not it's all purposeful, but he gets a great kick, and then it rolls. He gets that good burn it roll over and over again.
He does, and
on
really,
turf, I know it changes things.
And he had to go up and get that ball.
Yes.
He's not the tallest player that we have, but he did a great job, very athletic to go get it.
So, and then got it away. We are at the top of the hour. Station ID, you're listening to Burnet Bulldog Football on KMPN Burnet. Do appreciate you joining us as we hit the 10 o'clock hour. Bulldogs are going to go to 1-0 in district, a 5-game win streak, 5-2 on the season. Got 3:43 to run off the clock. Snap back, going to hand it off on the sweep, trying to get to the outside, and no room there. And I think that was Aguilar again with the carry, but they gave him, well, they surely didn't get that far. Okay, that one where they had the marker, but it's not. It's at the 26-yard line. So gain of 1, second down, and a long 8.
The Lampasas game has gone final, 30-20 Lampasas, which makes them 1-0.
Snap back, looks to throw, now pulls it down. Minor looks to run, trying to get to the outside, splits. And that's the only thing I could say. He split defenders and stayed in bounds, and then I think it was O'Hare.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was a form tackle.
It was goodness, not O'Hare. He nailed him.
And that, I think even his coaches don't take that hit. But O'Hare with the big hit. And he did pick up yard. I lost the track of the yardage because I was glad the young man hopped back up. But outstanding hit there by O'Hare. It's 3rd down and 2. They get it to the 32-yard line on the run. And it's going to be a keep by Minor. He's hit hard again, but he'll get the first down to about the 36-yard line. He gained 4, but does move the chains. 2:49. Clock should start up again after they set the chains. A lot of people kind of in the middle there.
Good job by the officials of getting inside of all that and breaking it up. Don't want anything silly to happen here at the end.
Absolutely not.
And Bulldogs still hitting hard, though.
Yes.
And the Mustangs have got to know that they're not going to stop hitting them.
And they need to. But, again, hit it, clean hit, get up, move on to the next play. And that's both sides need to understand that. It is 1st and 10 at the 36. Going to throw and nowhere to go. A catch was made for a short gain to the 39, and then 2 or 3 Bulldogs come in there and take the receiver down and bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, great job of recognizing the pass and making it really no insignificant play, no gain.
Yep, under 2 minutes to go in the ball game, 43-7. Bulldogs will be at home, 7 p.m. pregame, 7:30 kickoff. The Lampasas Badgers will be coming to town again. They're at 1-0, defeating Brownwood tonight. The Bulldogs will be 1-0. Man goes in motion. They swing it out to him in the flat, looking for blockers. Going to get a first down or very close to it on the little swing pass. It is a first down. It was Becker again. And he gets to the 48-yard line. 9-yard gain. Clock will start up again now after they reset the chains. 1:20 in running.
Mustangs may have one more deep pass in them here. The Bulldogs have got to stay deep enough not to let that happen.
1st and 10 from their own 47. He is going to throw. He swings it out, and that incomplete was probably best for the back because I think I'm not sure if it was Park. Somebody was coming over there. No, it was Johnson. Johnson was looking like he was lining it up. Yeah, 88, but incomplete 2nd down and 10.
Yes, he was. He was eyeballing
Yep.
the back the whole time.
If he makes that catch, and he was kind of turned sideways, so he wasn't in any position to try to get away from him. 2nd down and 10. Minor at quarterback. Going to hand it off to Aguilar. A little room there and pushes forward past midfield. Burnett side of the field to the 45. It's not good for a 1st down, but good for about 8. Clock runs, 47 seconds to go. 2nd down and 2. 3rd and 2. This is 3rd and 2 from the Burnett 45. Minor has Aguilar to his left. Snap is low. Looks to throw, and there's a flag over here before.
Is there? That's
the 40. Yeah.
It's interesting because it didn't look
Nobody
like we
moved,
came across.
Yeah, but not everybody moved either. So
we definitely moved forward, but didn't come across in the new. Yeah, I think we did.
All right, so we got the. After thinking about it
Yeah,
a
after
second.
thinking about it.
I hear you. 40-yard line. 1st and 10 Mustangs. 31 seconds to go. Clock is running. Bulldogs up 43-7. Minor gets the snap. He'll hand it off to Aguilar. Looking for a little room, and that's all he had, a little room.
That
2
should do
yards to the 38. Yep, shouldn't. Don't think they'd get another snap off.
Super proud of the Bulldogs.
Yes.
Come into the Purple Palace and really just dominate every aspect of the game.
1 second. There it is, the final buzzer. Bulldogs get to celebrate, and they do it in a dominant fashion. They start off with the opening kickoff score and just dominated every aspect of the game. The Mustangs score one late here, but it was all Bulldogs from start to finish. Played hard, played fast, played physical, did all the things you said they needed to do, and they showed it and come away with a huge win, 43-7. We'll take this break, and we'll come back. We'll get some stats, and we won't stay on too long, but we'll talk a little about this one. We'll talk a little about next week as the Bulldogs move to 5-2 on the season and 1-0 in District 4 for a Division I play as they defeat the Marble Falls Mustangs in the Battle of Burnett County 43-7 on BTX SportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Do you believe that there's no such thing as absolute truth? We live in a world where more and more people believe that we get to define truth as we please, as long as it doesn't hurt one another. Some claim you can define truth any way you want, except if it disagrees with their definition. God's Word gives us what our Creator tells us is truth and what's best for us. If you want to learn more about how to tap into God's truth, call us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com.
When it comes to news stories about the Middle East, there's plenty of spin, usually against Israel.
So where can you turn for a more balanced approach? The Land and the Book, heard right here on KHCB.
Hi, I'm Charlie Dyer, and at The Land and the Book, we're committed to covering stories in the Middle East biblically and fairly.
We also let you in on conversations with people who are making a big difference in this region.
So join us on Saturdays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on KHCB for The Land and the Book.
In Hebrews 9:27, the Bible says that we all have an appointment with death. Then we stand before God. What matters more than which day is your last is that you are ready for it. Jesus spoke of eternity without God as a place of utter darkness. Today may not be your last, but if you aren't ready today to stand before God, it is the right day to prepare to avoid the darkness. For help, call 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us live at needhim.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here from Marble Falls, Texas, here at Mustang Field. And Bulldogs win it 43-7. The Bulldogs, again, just dominant throughout. This is what we've seen the last few weeks, in this starting out quickly. Now, they've had a couple of close games. They really just wore this Marble Falls team down, where with Gatesville and some of those other those teams just are able to keep it a little closer. But it's the same start, and it's going to matter again next week. But that aggressive we pursue mentality. The offense has got you guessing in so many ways. We're talking about it. I'm trying to figure out who's at quarterback. And again, I thought, what a great illustration when you talk about the Marble Falls coaches saying, hey, it's going to be a pass because of the formation and the things they're doing that is confusing them. So that's got to make it 10 times harder for the players on the defense to figure it out. So it's tremendous effort all the way around, and they played it beautifully and win this 43-7. I mean, the most complete game. I was thinking last week, but honestly, this game was more complete in my mind because of the consequences of it, the enormity of it here in Marble Falls, and they just did everything so well. Controlled the emotions. Great ball game by the Bulldogs.
And as a result, how about a 5-game win streak? And we haven't said that in quite a while. So they're putting it all together at the right time. It's exactly when you want to do it. So stats. I'm calling it team effort. It's just it's been a great thing to see tonight. So many people involved offensively. It starts with the quarterback with Murray, 12 of 22 for 201. Really good night. Got the ball to a lot of people. Pimentel, 3 passes, 40 yards. Edwards, 1 pass for 5. A lot of receivers tonight. Mark Williams, 2 catches for 51. A lot of these are kind of the same as the first half. We didn't throw it that much the second. Pimentel, 4 catches, 39. Stanford, 2 catches, 84. Kastner, 2 for 16. Lopez, 1 for 17. And then on the ground, Coronado did the most. He finished with 100 yards. Peyton Lopez comes in the second half and almost matches it with 92 yards on just a few carries, a handful of carries. So really productive evening for
over
Peyton
200
Lopez.
yards rushing, though.
Yes, amazing. And so then you throw in Stanford 1 for 20, Kastner 2 for 19, Laidler 1 for 11, Pimentel 4 for 52, and then some guys here and there. So
we're probably looking. I couldn't keep up with all of it in my head as we went through there, but over 400 yards total offense, pushing towards 500. Just an incredible game, and again, getting so much help from so many people.
And I don't, I'm looking around. They've turned all the lights off in the press box, Mark. We're the only ones here. Turn out the lights. The party's
as long
over.
as the electricity still runs from the outlet, we're going to keep going. We're not going to be here too much longer. We do need to send it down the line and let Bruce know back at the station. I do appreciate that. I do want to talk briefly. You've got to enjoy this a little bit. I want to be real honest with you. You started the season. We have this district. Lampasas has been a problem for the Bulldogs the last several years. Last year, we go down and we beat Davenport, but we didn't play well against Lampasas. Davenport's a team that beat Lampasas. They ended up beating them twice. Anyway, they beat them, and Davenport went to the regional final. But, again, that is, to me, this Bulldog team, no doubt about it, can go at home next week and beat the Lampasas Badgers. But they have to do it. This was a great start because they're playing with confidence and they need that. So, and to me, that's why I talked about earlier. The crowd, this is where all those intangibles come into play, doing all the right things. And this team is doing it again and again. And if you'd asked me 4 weeks ago, I'd say Lampasas has the edge next week. As we sit right now, the edge is to the Bulldogs, but it's razor thin, and we're going to find out. And I think it comes down to who makes those plays and who is the one that can say, I'm more confident in winning this game. And I think it's going to be a great game either way. And I don't know. Lampasas got a big win over Brownwood, and they're going to be celebrating that. But, man, I'm excited about next week and seeing what happens. Whatever the outcome, Bulldogs put themselves in great shape. But this is why you want to come back week after week to high school football in Texas, and in our case, the Burnett Bulldogs. And I'm really looking forward to it next week.
You think about that game last year, and we made some mistakes that cost us the game, and it was close for a while, up until halftime. So, again, I think that's another key, and the Bulldogs – did that tonight. They didn't make that many mistakes. And again, Marble is not Lampasas, but you've got to play mistake-free. And again, I implore the fans to fill up our sides of the bleachers and come out and support these young men.
No, I would. We're not beating Lampasas, nor do I think Lampasas is beating us 43-7. You totally do. But this should be a great ball game next week. And again, though, but it's so many things come into play, but it makes it so exciting to look forward to this week. So they need to enjoy this. You need to enjoy this win. It's important. It mattered, and you played well. But in the next day or so, that turn, and I know they will, and it's gonna there's gonna be plenty of people to be talking about it. But really looking forward to it. It's an exciting game next Friday night at home. So we'll be on at 7, pregame 7:30. Kickoff scheduled. Lampasas Badgers come to Burnett in the 2nd District game. All right, let's wrap it up from here. The Bulldogs moved to 5-2 on the season. The Badgers, getting ahead of it there. Badgers next week. Marble Falls, the Mustangs fall to 2-5 and 0-1 in district. The Bulldogs 1-0 in district for 4A Division I. Appreciate everybody joining us. Thanks to so many chipping in and again sharing with us. Thanks to Chad again with the website. Thanks to Bruce tonight for again with KMPN and all the great work they do for us and making it go smoothly and bringing it to you locally on 95.9 FM. Just would not be the same without their support. It is something I want to say every week because I mean it every week. So appreciate Coach Kaiser. Great help in getting everything put together, and just a great start to district play. The Bulldogs 5-2, 1-0 as they defeat the Marble Falls Mustangs 43-7 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM. Thank you and good night.
And thanks for listening to tonight's special presentation of Burnett Bulldog High School Football at 95.9 FM, KMPN, Burnett. This game has been produced exclusively through Camp and Isle of Marble Falls, which is celebrating over 70 years of camping ministry in the Marble Falls area, and the KHCB Network. We hope you'll join in next time for more of the action of Burnett High School football, brought to you by Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser. We now join our regular programming already in progress. Thanks for listening.